And we are live, and I'm out of focus. Hi, everybody. Good to see all of you. Hopefully, my camera fixes itself.
Hi, out of focus. I'm Dad.
No, it's not. That's my joke. That's my joke. Damn it. Anyway, hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Fey Lie, our bi-weekly stream on Tuesdays, run by me, Jordy Rose, as Kevin puts me, the amazing Jordy Rose. I am just Jordy Rose. Yes, sir. But yes, we have our lovely players here. We have Red Queen Hales, Haley herself. We have the Saint Verse. We have Dice Knight Lance in New York. And we've got the Super Goat Mustafa, the name so nice you say it twice, playing Phelan. So excited to be back with you guys. And we are, for the first time in a while, back to back, which I'm really excited for because, yeah, we get to continue the insanity that happened last week. With all of that super fun stuff, which I was very excited for. I'm not going to lie. So I don't think we have anything too major popping up right now. Let me just make sure. Yeah, I think that's pretty much about it. Just a bit of a shout out to Critical Kit, an amazing dice maker that is available, that has sponsored us for a couple of streams that we're doing on our main channel. You can check them out at criticalkit.co.uk if you're interested in getting some new dice. And the second one is an awesome one that Kevin, my fantastic streaming partner, unfortunately, who is not here right now to show it off, playing Les Paul, but got an amazing dice tray called the Mayor from a company called C4 Labs. Incredible work on theirs. He's got a lot more intro or information on that if you tune into our Beyond the Realm stream on Monday, or the stream that he runs every other Tuesday called Wild Beyond the Witchlight. You're going to get a lot more info on those ones. But I just wanted to give a shout out to those guys. You'll see their links up at the top, and there are some chat commands if you're curious to learn more. So, with that, and I realized I don't even have music queued up because I'm an amazing DM.
I think today we can all just agree we aren't, we're at like a B+ game at most. A game I think might be a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah,
I don't know about you.
Right.
He's been playing in my head all day. We chill. It's cool. Let's vibe.
I'm riding off of my 9 a.m. start this morning, and I'm just keeping on going. So let's keep going on our A game.
That sounds about right.
Lance actually fought a dinosaur for a good chunk of this.
Lance became a dinosaur and fought other dinosaurs on camera. I mean,
Lance really said, "Welcome to Jurassic Park."
I am the better Chris Pratt now. Awesome. Yeah. Alrighty, so with all of you guys in chat, thank you so much for sticking with us tonight. We are a little bit running late, unfortunately, and we think we are going to be down a Kevin. Sadly, work has gotten to him, but we will continue on relentless with the remaining 4. So, last we left off, having completed a task set upon Jules by their family and cleared out a Rakshasa hiding within the southeastern farming city of Feldrwyn, you all managed to escape with a few pilfered items taken from under the nose of Jules' uncle, Zacharias. Loading up your caravan and putting the city to your rear, you found yourselves on the road to the Empire's capital city of Rexentrum, where you are to deliver the young girl in your care to the magic collective known as the Cerberus Assembly. The Martinet, a character known as Ludinus Deleth, a senior member of the Assembly, tasked you with escorting Gilda, daughter of a famed Empire engineer, to an area of the Assembly known as the Candles within the capital city of Rexentrum. On the journey, you decided to follow a new route, heading west out from Feldrwyn towards the Labenda Swamp, planning to cut through Berleben and Zadash before making the long journey north. On the start of the 7th day, your caravan was climbing a hill when tangs of metal on metal erupted on the other side, and a pair of wagons with panicked traders came hurtling towards you, screaming of an attack by the Kryn. Being unfamiliar with this land, Phelan quickly explained to Les that the Kryn dynasty is a political entity that resides to the east of the Empire's lands, and those called the Kryn are the citizens that reside within the dynasty, often being drow. Cresting the hill, you saw a large armored caravan with Empire military insignias, a single drow, and a group of 6 Empire soldiers, 3 standing, blades drawn, and 3 motionless, bloodied on the ground. Charging in to help the soldiers, another 2 were slain, and the Kryn warrior, a drow, looked hurt, but still proved to be a difficult foe. However, Les managed to land a critical strike with a 9-live Stealer shortsword, drawing the drow's soul into his blade. With the drow slain, Phelan caught a glimpse of another creature in the forest on the other side of the road, but only found tracks that indicated the creature had vanished in place, likely by some form of teleportation. The last remaining guard offered some kind of reward from within the caravan, and grabbed a set of keys from the dead captain's jacket, undoing the 3 locks before opening the door and triggering a massive explosion of magical flame. A bomb that caught himself, Jules, and Galahad in its blast, incinerating everything inside and around the caravan except for a very solid metal box that Phelan managed to retrieve. Preventing further delays on their journey, the group quickly got back on the road, spent the night in a respite area a few dozen miles away from the swamp town of Berleben, where Jules noticed a series of lizard folk running through the muddy bog carrying large wooden crates. Knowing the already tight timeline the party had, decided it best to ignore the issue for now and continue on. So setting out the next day, you pushed into a dilapidated set of ruined stone buildings, some kind of a small town or settlement that once stood, and ran into a man claiming that a living cloud of poison attacked him while he was resting within the nearby temple. Pushing him to prove his story, you followed him into the temple, up a set of stairs, and into the bedroom he claimed he was sleeping in, when a massive cloud of green gas began to spill out from within the wardrobe. So with the gas cloud growing ever larger, I need you all to roll initiative.
Woo! Yeah!
Stress.
Yeah.
First roll of the night is a 2.
Let's
Wow.
go.
You know what?
Let's go at the bottom of it.
Let's go last.
I can one up you on that. I got a nat 1.
Oh, God.
Let's really go
Yeah, but
last.
plus what though? Plus
Why
what?
are we starting off so not strong? Opposite of strong. So weak. We're so weak.
Opposite of strong. Thank you, Haley.
I got a
That was
third
great.
Dex bonus, man.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just gonna
Damn
quickly fix this
wild.
up. And... Sorry, guys, I'm just getting the cameras
What's your
in place.
Dex bonus, Lance?
Oh, I don't know off the top of my head. I'm sorry, I don't have my book out.
Oh my God.
But it's not great, I don't think.
Lance, your dex is +2, 15.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You are still ahead of me in initiative.
Oh, God. Say, what is Galahad? Galahad, you
Paladin's
got
gonna
like
paladin.
nothing?
What? Plus 0
You have
dex.
like a... Oh, wowza.
Yep.
All of my high stats went into Constitution.
I mean, that is kind of what paladins need, is con and strength more than anything, right?
Yeah. No, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, God.
All right, so
Wild.
zoom in on our little map here, and we'll get you guys cut over. Alrighty, so of course I gotta give Kevin his little picture, his little picture. Oh, his little booty. All right, there we go. Good. Okay, awesome. So straight into combat right now. Let me go ahead and cue up our music. And we will jump right in. So, tense. Boom.
Ho ho ho. Okay, who's gonna put some bets on this?
Okay.
Yeah.
My bet, Poisonous Cloud, gonna knock out at least 2 of us.
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens.
Not you included, of course, Galahad. Don't worry about it.
All I gotta say,
Don't worry about it. Totally
all I
fine.
gotta say is that you guys rested before you got blown up, right?
Yes.
No?
It's been like a day or 2 at least, I think.
Yeah, it's
We-
been
we-
long rested. You guys are like full hit points, all your abilities, all your hit dice. You've got everything. The only thing that you're down is, I think, Jules, you had used an anti-venom poison or potion that you had on this this person that you brought inside, who is currently just sitting prone in the corner upstairs there.
It's a mood right there.
Yeah. All right. So, initiative. Let's go with this guy. Ooh, that's a good one. Okay. Initiatives 25 to 20. Go ahead and get less. Ooh, less did not do good, but that's fine.
Oh no. Les, you're our only hope.
Les has a +2, so that's a 7 for Les. Okay, 25 to 20.
What the fuck?
Okay. Guess nobody, so that's
Oh,
all right.
not me. Can't be me.
Oh no.
15 to 10.
13.
Oh,
I got a 12.
Okay,
Holy
12 for Margot.
Okay.
All right.
I did not enjoy that silence.
And 13 for Phelan.
13 for Phelan, 12 for Margot, 7 for Les. Galahad, you had a 1 or 2?
I had a 2.
A 2.
But
And
Jules,
you had a 3. All right. So 3 for
God.
Jules.
Damn.
2 for Galahad.
Yeah, we're
Okay, so starting
I'm
things
gonna call
off, the
Phil.
green gas cloud with the 17 initiative.
no.
Didn't expect this one.
Great.
Tragic.
Cool.
Okay,
We're about
so
to go
the
down.
creature is going to go ahead and move.
You don't got
Well,
it.
that's not okay.
And it is amorphous, so it can move through a space as narrow as 1 inch wide without squeezing. So it will blow past you guys and be able to share a space with you. We'll send this one to the back.
No.
And it's going to go ahead and use Spell Mimicry to create a 40-foot diameter sphere of fog within 60 feet of it, which spreads around corners. So that point is going to be right about there. So we're just going to go ahead and do one of these guys.
Oh my god.
So,
Also, we're gonna see nothing. All
40
right,
foot
cool.
radius.
You're hitting us while we're down, Jordy. No.
So that's 10,
Oh, you're not down yet.
20,
Wait for it.
30.
Give him at least a turn or
So that's 20 foot.
I meant down in
30,
initiative,
35.
but you're right.
30 feet.
It's fine. Everything's fine. Nothing can go wrong. Nothing bad happens to the Kennedys.
Nothing bad ever happens to the Kennedys.
my max HP on the UI is still incorrect. Oh well.
Is it?
Yeah.
I can
I have
fix
68 max HP.
I can fix that. Okay, so this is the size of the square of the circle that it creates.
Oh,
so
God.
it
Oh.
encompasses the entirety of the building. A 40-foot radius sphere. Okay.
Yeah, we're
Fine. Everything's
So,
fine.
The fog spreads around corners, so the door at the far end of the hall with Jules, Les, and Margot, you three being there, the fog begins to rapidly spread around and down that staircase. However, it is not difficult terrain. It is not something that you can't see through. It doesn't interrupt your vision in any way. You just see the very green fog, and all of you suddenly just kind of take a bit of a breath in, and you start to cough a little bit. So that is going to be the creature's turn. After that, we're going to come to Phelan.
tear gas, but
Phelan, start of your turn. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
you don't mean that. It's okay. You
got
don't
got
gotta.
con. You got con. You can do this. You're-
Yeah, I got 12. Okay, so that's a 12 for me.
That's a 12.
Yeah, huh? That's a total of 12. I rolled an 11 plus 1.
Okay. You take.
You take a nice
no.
holiday to the beach.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
take basically no damage. You take 11
Fuck yes.
11 points of poison damage.
What do you mean nothing? That's a third of my health.
11 points
What do you
on
mean nothing?
11 points on 5d6.
Oh no.
Oh, sorry, it's their d8s. Never mind.
Okay.
So
You questioned
oh
it
my
too
god,
much.
it's worse.
Why did you do that?
It's
Oh.
worse.
yes.
Hang on.
Okay.
3. Oh my god, it's actually worse. 9. You take
Yes,
9 points of poison damage on 5. I rolled 3
Use the word
ones.
worse without giving proper context.
Worse for me. I'm the DM. It's worse
No,
for
you made it
me.
seem like it was worse for us.
I'm
No, I
DM,
knew
it's worse
because
for me.
Jordy enjoys inflicting pain on
I
the
do. Where do you think Kevin learned it? Come on, let's be honest. Okay, what is going on with my camera
It's
here?
too early for this.
Fixing it.
Oh,
There we
God.
go. Okay, so you only take 9. I rolled 5d8 and I rolled 1, 1, 1, 2, 4.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh thank God.
So you take 9
Yes.
points of poison damage.
Okay.
And you are coughing, but you can otherwise act normally on your turn. You essentially are just inside a cloud of poison gas.
I don't like that. Okay, cool. Gotcha. Ew. All right, and it's my turn now?
It's your turn. And there is just... but what you've noticed is that the creature, as it comes down to the hallway, starts to just billow this poisonous fog coming out from it, spreading down the hallway, down the stairs. But there is some kind of a mass, like as if the fog itself had almost congealed slightly inside, which is actually forming the body, quote-unquote, of the creature.
Okay, gotcha. All right. I am going to try and hit it. I'm not gonna... I don't know if this is flammable, so I'm not gonna use a firebolt or anything. Plus, I'm in close quarters, so I'm gonna go ahead and use my rapier to try and hit it with.
Okay.
And we shall see if that works or not. Whew.
Gesundheit.
That did not hit the mute button on time. But that's a 6 + 7 for a 13 to hit with my rapier.
13 misses.
Dang. All right, cool. That'll be my action. But I'd like to use my bonus action to try and hit with my dagger.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so we shall see if that also works or not. But come on, dagger, roll. Yeah. Okay, cool. That is a 14 + 7 for 21.
21 will definitely hit. This is the dagger of the Aeons?
Yeah. Yes, that is indeed my dagger of the Aeons.
Awesome. All right, so go ahead and roll the damage on that one.
And
you do get sneak
not
attack.
a lot. That's... Oh!
Because Galahad is within 5 feet of the creature and threatening it.
Oh!
With my mere existence.
You're amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Galahad, I love you. I love you. You're amazing. You're sucked up by this thing, but it's fine. Okay, so that is 6 points of regular damage from my dagger, and then fuck off, and 4 points of sneak attack damage. I rolled a 1, and a 2. I guess what I took just came back around. That's fine. Yeah, so that's a total of 10 points of damage.
10 points of damage? Okay, good to know. All right, and it is
and I'm also gonna... Yeah, I'm gonna try and hold my breath until my next turn.
Okay.
To see if that helps at all. Since you said like we'd inhaled and started coughing.
Yeah.
So
okay, so you can hold your breath for a number of minutes equal to your Constitution modifier. So you can hold your breath for 1 minute.
Okay.
Essentially, things might happen that might cause that to change. You don't know, but you are holding your breath currently.
Okay. Cool.
Alrighty.
Cool. And when it starts crushing my lungs, I'll know it's possible.
Sounds good.
Gotcha.
Okay, so that's going to be your turn. After you, we come to Margot. So back into the hallway. This fog has snaked its way around the corner, suddenly filling up the entirety of the hallway. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Why did I?
Also, if anybody else's hit points are wrong, let me know. I can update that on the fly.
I don't suppose a solid crisp 9 will get me anything.
9 will not get you anything. A 9 will get you... That's better.
Oh, no.
I will get you pain.
You take 26 points of poison damage as you and you begin hacking up bloodied.
Jules, I'm gonna come for your kneecaps. You're the one who was just like, let's help this guy. And I'm like, we have shit.
I wanted to leave.
I know. I got curious.
Jules, I'm coming for your kneecaps. I'm gonna spit in your shoes,
God.
buddy.
I'm only curious about things I shouldn't be, so you guys should have stopped me.
You fucking right. You're right. That's on us.
If in doubt,
It's
go
fine.
forward.
It's
Got
fine. Sitting at 11 hit points in 1 turn, that's fine. I'm just gonna cast after coughing up what I think could be 1 lung, possibly 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna cast True Strike by looking into the center of the mist and seeing if I can't find anything.
Okay. Well, do you want? So you can move past lessened.
Yeah, that's
Jules.
what I want to do. I kind of want to. I want to break past these heathens and see if I can't figure out what's going on.
So True Strike. You extend your can. Point brief insight on your next turn. You gain advantage on your attack roll.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So you cast True Strike. kind of reaching out, pointing forward, right as you see Phelan just reach out with that rapier, trying to find some kind of purchase in this green, smoky mist that's filling out the hallway. The rapier just sliding through, unable to find purchase, but the dagger coming in over the top and impacting, but not impacting against the ground. Phelan, you do feel it impact against something, and Margot, you see that right as you reach the top of the stairs, and just kind of like trying to figure out exactly what's going on with this one. You cast True Strike there. That is a cantrip, so you do still have a bonus action if you wanted to cast a spell as a bonus action.
Let's see here. I'm trying to think. I don't do bonus actions very often. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah, low-level bonus actions are pretty rare, but if you've got like a healing word or a...
Nah.
Like
meta magic?
Nah.
Alright.
I could technically use sorcery points or something along those lines, but no, I'm gonna save those.
Gonna save those? Alright, so True Strike being cast, trying to figure out some kind of an insight into what the creature is going to be doing next. That's going to be your turn. Les is up next. Jules, you are on deck. Les, being at the far end of the hallway... rolls. Oh, no, not good. That's a 5 plus 3. That's an 8. Les takes full damage.
Kevin, Geordie killed your character on the first turn.
24 points of damage to Les.
Same. What the fuck?
Yeah, this...
Oh my god.
Hang on. So Les is 40. Les 24. Okay, Les at that point is then going to immediately spring into action. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And he... What has he got? I think he's got some range
Power
stuff.
word kill, I believe is what it's spelled.
I've seen Kevin use that before, yeah.
Power word kill, that's fine.
Think you could use a dagger? Do amorphous fart clouds, death fart clouds have souls? Can we rip the soul out of a fart cloud?
Hang on.
Asking for a friend.
Oh, good point.
You know what? He's actually going to use Protective Field and prevent some of the damage that he would be able to see. Yeah, takes damage. He's going to use his reaction to prevent 6 damage. So he actually is a little bit better.
He's going to detox himself real quick on the floor.
Yeah, exactly. He's essentially just going to like take some of that and just like pull some of the poison out of his mouth and just shrink it out of his hand. So that's going to be less as a reaction. And then on his turn... He is going to... I think he's just got some javelins and he's not really within range, so he's just going to go ahead and toss a javelin at the creature. So this is going to be an attack roll from Les.
Come on,
that's going to hit. Yeah, I think he's got like at least a +5 to hit. Yeah, so he's good. It's a 19. So that is going to impact. He's then going to use one of his psionic dies to use Psionic Strike, propelling his weapon with psionic force. After he hits a target within 30 feet of it, he can roll a psionic energy die, dealing force damage equal to the total. And that is 5 force damage, plus the damage from the javelin, which is another 5. So that's 10, plus his strength modifier is 3. So that's going to be 13 points to the creature. Not too shabby. And then he's going to go ahead and use a bonus action of whatever his healing thing is. Which is where he gets to roll a d10 and add his
is that
fighter level.
Second wind.
Second wind, that's what it's called. Yeah, he's going to use second wind.
1d10 plus fighter.
And he regains a full 10 plus his fighter level, so he gains 17 more hit points. He's almost back to full.
That's tight.
And is then going to action surge. And pull out another javelin and throw another javelin.
You know what?
Oh, wait, sorry, hang on.
Absolutely on par.
Wait.
Hey, Kevin, Jordy.
He also has 2 attacks anyway.
Yeah, he does. But his extra attack work for long range? Yeah, it does. Okay, so he's going to attack another time first with another javelin. Yeah, that's a 20. That's going to hit. This one is not going to expend an energy die. That's another 5, so it's going to be another 8 points of damage to the creature.
Hey, can you not use those dice anymore for, like, the monsters?
I don't. I use different dice.
Yeah,
You know-
those dice too. Just change it all.
Just no more dice for the monsters. They just don't. They don't get to roll.
That Pixar animatic of the two old men who look identical playing chess? That's literally what's happening right now.
I
It's
know,
just
right?
Geordie
v. Geordie. 2 more attacks from Les. Oh, one of them is going to miss, but the other one is going to hit. And so he's going to do some more damage there. That's another 7 points of damage to the creature. So Les, in a flurry of strikes, climbing up the staircase as fast as he can, holding his breath, pulling out some of the disgusting green bile that's beginning to form into his mouth and throwing a slop onto the ground, taking out 4 javelins and just throwing all 4 of them at the creature from a distance, and then healing himself up with his second wind. Les has done quite a bit of damage to the creature in his turn. After him, we come to Jules. Galahad, you are on deck.
Cool, yeah. So Jules saw somebody else hit this thing, right?
Correct. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw at the start of your turn.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Galahad, what was your total hit points again?
68.
Thank you.
11 plus 4, 15.
15 just fails.
Damn it!
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So unfortunately, you do take...
Alright.
oh, that's big. You take 27 points of poison damage.
The fuck?
5d8s, baby. 5d8s, baby.
Wow.
Okay. 27, you said?
27, yes.
Hey, that's one more than what I did. Yay.
Okay.
Maybe everyone else should, like, leave.
As you are just coughing and sputtering this poison onto the ground.
Yeah, I'm gonna hex the boy. I'm gonna make him have disadvantage on Constitution saving throws.
It's checks,
Sure.
unfortunately.
Ability checks, yeah. Then dexterity. Sorry,
Dexterity checks. Okay, good to know.
didn't get to that part of the spell before I opened my mouth, but it's okay.
No worries.
And then I'm gonna fire off 2 Eldritch Blasts.
All right.
One is a 12 and one is a 27.
27 will hit, 12 will miss.
27 will hit. All right. He's gonna take a D10 of damage plus my charisma modifier for agonizing blast.
Yeah.
So that is 9 damage. And also he is pushed. Can I push him?
You can.
I have repelling blast, which allows me to push him 10 feet.
You certainly
I'm gonna push
can.
him.
So you push him 10 feet back, and he just impacts against the wall and kind of like splays out his form a little bit, but then recongeals himself now just kind of directly under Galahad's feet.
Cool. Made me feel a little better. That's my turn.
That's your turn. Okay, after you, we come to Galahad. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
You said the Constitution saving throw is for breathing in the poison, right?
The Constitution saving throw is less about breathing and more about being affected by the poison.
Okay.
Geordie basically saying, yeah, don't pull that I can't breathe.
Don't pull that robots don't breathe.
But it's okay, because I have advantage on all saving throws against poison and resistance.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. You got
23.
4s. That's where
23 will succeed. Finally, somebody succeeds on the save. Galahad, you are going to take... oh, that's still pretty high. 19, 23, halve to 11. And then halve to 5.
I thought the 23 was half.
23 was halve to 11 because you succeeded, and then halve to 5 because you're resistant.
Fuck yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's
So,
fucking
5 points of poison damage. The creature now underfoot. You're starting to get a little bit of a better view of it as some of the poison that's kind of filled the air is starting to dissipate a little bit and float down towards the ground. You see this, like, very strange, almost like the poison itself is the creature, and it's just slightly more compacted and compressed to form this fluid, almost looking creature with almost a series of, like, poisonous tentacles, kind of, but they're all still gaseous. Like, you kick your hand through one of the tentacles, and it just passes right through it. What do you want to do?
Okay. So... Well, that makes me think that I have to hit it with a magical weapon. So I'm going to use magic weapon as a bonus action.
Okay, magic weapon is a bonus action.
So, swords out, starts glowing with Paladinian light, or whatever the description is.
Oh, yeah, baby.
It's just not even
Make me glow with your light.
Hit me with your light.
14 to hit.
14 misses, unfortunately.
That's right. Attack number 2.
Wow.
That's better. 17 to hit.
17 will hit.
Alrighty. Oh, sorry. What was my first roll? A 14?
14.
It was actually a 15 because of magic weapon.
Just hits.
Oh.
So that magic weapon did actually make the difference.
Yeah, sorry. Whew, came in close. I looked at my thing and I was like, hang on, I literally just cast a +1.
Literally just cast the spell.
Yeah, alright, so we're gonna add a smite on top of that, just a bit of flavour. Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Smite, baby.
Yeah, this thing.
1.
Yes.
That's not great.
It's okay. 500 is still a good amount of damage.
+6. That's right. Awesome. That's 19 points of damage.
Yeah.
Hi.
The I don't know if it's relevant, but it was 6 of it. No, 7 of it was the slashing damage, and the rest was radiant.
But magic weapon makes it magical damage.
Yeah.
So you're good.
And then I'm just gonna. No, we're gonna smite again. There's no reason not to just bonk into oblivion if I can.
All right.
There isn't.
So much better. All right.
Yes. Better than 19?
That's 21 points of damage.
Galahad, how do you want to do this?
Oh my god. I just take the blade and it just brooms with energy and I just sort of just wildly like shake it through this whole thing as I try and hit the center mass, and then the center mass moves and I hit that and I just keep cutting it down as much as I can.
All right, so you're just kind of taking the blade and this mass. You're using a longsword, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're using the longsword and you just kind of like slashing back and forth and like realizing stabbing isn't really doing anything. The creature's kind of like, is it even a creature? It's gas. Like, can you stab gas? You don't really know. And so you start slicing sideways, just trying to cut like layers of the gas off of itself. And then the blade just kind of keeps passing through over and over until you realize that you're actually dispersing the gas a little bit along the ground. And then the creature, whatever it is, begins to just slowly kind of pepper away onto the ground until eventually it starts to vanish a little bit. However, with the creature destroyed, the gas cloud remains.
Alright, now we can run.
And at the bottom of the round is the NPC that led you guys up to the top of the stairs, who's going to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, he'll
to
be
try
fine.
and resist.
Oh god.
And he succeeded.
Why did I come back?
With a natural 17.
Thank
Oh shit. Oh shit. 30? He takes 35 points of poison damage. Wait, no. Sorry. Hang on. 6, 18, 26, 31, half to 15. He takes 15 points on a success, which is still enough to kill him. Which is still enough to kill him as he perishes, slumped into a corner, coughing, breathing out the blood, trying to start his turn and trying to run down the staircase to get out of there. He rolled a natural 1 on his initiative with no bonus, and was unable to leave and just perishes at the top of the stairwell. Top of the round, the creature is destroyed, so we come to Phelan. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
I hate this here.
Oh wait, sorry, hang on.
Me.
Sorry, moves 10 feet away. Actually, no, you don't need to, because... So, at the start of what would have been the creature's turn, it creates a 40-foot diameter sphere of fog within 60 feet, spreads around corners. The fog moves 10 feet away or down. In this case, because it is fog, it is slowly filtering through the small cracks in the floorboards down into the bottom area of the temple, because you guys fought it upstairs. It slowly begins to filter down through the stairs, and Phelan, you just kind of reaching up, like pulling it down to be able to get a clean breath of air. You are able to not have to make that Constitution saving throw as you see it start to seep into the cracks on the floor. So
okay, cool. So that's great. You know what? I'm gonna turn around and take stock of all my homies, see who's down and who's up.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing the person down again, I'm gonna try and run back and heal him. So I'm gonna run to where he's at and just cast a good old Cure Wounds and see if that helps any.
Gosh darn it. I apologize. Normally I'm a very good rules person. I missed the last line of this. Yes. The fog lasts for 10 minutes or until concentration ends as if concentrating on a spell. So because the creature was dispatched, the fog actually completely vanishes even before that character's turn. I misread the spell. I apologize.
Oh my god.
Goodness.
And we're back.
Retroactive.
So, with that, no longer in combat, with the creature dispatched, you guys now find yourselves inside the temple. An open doorway into a bedroom in front of you, Galahad, and another closed doorway at the far end of the hall.
Is anybody else feeling emotional whiplash right now?
A lot of it, actually.
I'm very sorry.
Amazing.
It was the last line, and I was like, I want to make sure that this is correct. Moves 10 feet away from it, yeah. Lasts for 10 minutes, yeah, until it's... Oh, shit. Whoops. Whoops! So...
Oh, thank God.
Top of the round comes the creature, whatever it was, having been dispersed by Galahad's blade, essentially cut into ribbons, and then the fog cloud vanishing with it, and then onto the ground. You guys have the upstairs of this temple with you, and this man just kind of sitting very much curled up in a fetal position in the corner, just like holding onto his breath, making sure that he doesn't breathe in as the last little bit of the fog vanishes. What would you guys like to do?
I want to vomit.
I'm gonna kick down the door.
So the door is
You want to
open.
open the other door too?
The door is open. Well, I kick it open more.
Kick it open more. So you just heavy impact and splinter the door a little bit more. You start to take a step inside. Galadad is Galamad. All right. So, getting a careful look into the bedroom, you see a fairly simple feather mattress on a wooden bed frame, and the now open wardrobe with a few green-tinged garments loosely hanging on your right-hand side. Beside those, a small chest, seemingly closed, with a small lock on it.
I'm gonna call out to the amazing Phelan.
Found a chest in here. Because you help.
Before, you know what? I ain't even gonna respond. I'm just gonna run. I'm gonna book it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just zooming. You said chest. It's my baby. I got you.
Okay.
I was this close to just picking up the chest and bringing it out, but I thought, no, that's a horrible idea. That just screams tripwire or like anything pressure.
And yeah, I'm gonna first check for if there's any traps, and then I'm gonna lock that pick.
Okay, go ahead and I'm gonna lock that pick. Go ahead and make a investigation check for me. See if you can see any traps.
Okay. Oh, I got good investigation. 19 plus 6 for a 25.
25. The chest does not appear to be locked, and the lock itself on a 25 is a pretty simple one.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pick that lock.
Go for it. Make a Thieves' Tools check.
Let's go. Which is my dex, a roll plus my dex plus my proficiency, I believe.
I believe because you took expertise in Thieves' Tools, you actually get your proficiency twice. Unless you took expertise in something else.
No, I did take. I believe that was it. Yeah.
Perfect.
So that was a 19 plus 6 for another 25.
It should be
now I roll well.
It's more than plus 6.
Yeah.
Because the 6 alone is from expertise, and then you add dex after that as well.
Well, oh no, yeah. So I rolled 15 plus a 4 for my dex, plus a 6
for the expertise. Gotcha. Okay, so on a 25, yeah, on a DC of 12. On a DC of 12, your hands just kind of go in deftly with the tumblers, and you're like, I got this. This is easy. And it falls open without you even trying, really. Like, you kind of just catch a single pin, and it looks like it's not exactly, it's like one of those suitcase locks that you buy for $2 at the dollar store. You just kind of just pull on it a little harder and it opens a bit. And the chest lays open before you, and you lifting the lid a little bit.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll lift it up and I'll turn back to Galahad and I'll usher her to it and be like, be my guest.
Having a brief flashback of the last time we opened anything that was locked,
shit, you're right, Pete.
I'm just going to take my shield out and be a bit ready for this one.
Okay.
So it's going to be like kind of like a...
All right. So you kind of lifting it up a little bit. Lift it up a little bit further.
One of those like, I can't remember what it's called, but it's not like a pressure thing. Like when you open something enough, it like trips a wire.
Yeah, and that was so. Phelan did a check for that. We'll say the 25 covers that as well. You're fairly confident that it's not a trap chest, and so you kind of opening it up a little bit. You look inside and you see some very fine white robes, some gold trim on the front of them. It looks like a very small hat of some kind that might sit like on top of a head with again a couple of gold trim pieces.
Did we just rob the Pope?
I wouldn't worry about it. I don't think he's coming back for it.
Yeah, from what you can tell, just kind of getting an idea. Galahad, Phelan, go ahead and just make religion checks for me.
Oh boy!
We robbed the Pope!
Oh boy!
Oh
Let's
boy!
go. A paladin. Oh, I actually am proficient in religion. Holy shit, this is like my first character ever that has been.
Yeah, this is your jam, baby.
Yeah.
And guess what? I rolled a 2, so it doesn't matter. Yeah!
No
character,
way.
it hurts.
All right.
Oh god. And I rolled a 16.
At 16?
Well,
Okay.
Total of 7.
Total of 7. Okay.
16.
Galahad, these are definitely like priest's robes. You don't know what deity.
That's religious.
You don't know what deity, but you're basically like, I know religion. This is religion. You got it.
Sorry, I was just too distracted by the ease of which Phelan just like saunters into a room, like looks seductively, and every lock in like a 30-foot radius just unlocks.
Just goes,
It's so smooth.
Yeah.
I'm just like, nice.
Yeah.
I got you.
Oh, that's priest robes. So maybe, yeah.
Yeah. But Phelan, you recognize these as robes of a priest of Pelor, the Dawn Father, one of the light and very approved entities within the Empire, and a deity that essentially symbolizes the dawn, bringing of new days, bringing of new things, going along with a lot of the harvest deities. But they do look like they're in fairly good condition, having probably been stored here for quite some time. But kind of getting a look around, I'll say with a 25 investigation check you had earlier, looking at the bed and everything, the bed does look recently slept in, like last night.
Oh shit!
That would have been all night. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you've got the wardrobe that's open there as well too.
Okay. How do we feel about robbing a priest if they're not here?
We'll just drop drugs.
If you don't commit a sin, God died for nothing.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Do we want to check the closet? I'll say.
This place doesn't really look in operation, so I think it'll be fine. Also, didn't the dude say that he slept the night here?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And then he got attacked by the fart demon.
Correct.
Yeah. Then Jules will turn to him and say, "Is this where you slept last night?"
And he just kind of looks back and, yeah, this is where I spent the night.
Was it made before you slept in it?
It didn't look like it had been used in a while. I mean, like, I guess you guys aren't really common to this area. This little establishment, this whole town kind of got abandoned a while ago. People still come every once in a while and pay their respects to Pelor downstairs, but the priest hasn't been seen in a couple of months at least.
Okay.
Well, Margot sees Jules talking to the guy. It's fine, I didn't need my esophagus anyways, as I vomit more bile and ooze. I'm going to see I can only assume that the door to our right is closed.
Correct. Door button to your right is closed.
Alright, I'm going to attempt to open it.
Okay. So you kind of reach out and just grab it and instinctively hesitate for a second and then just and the door opens up to the inside. Go ahead and reveal that one for you.
Inside it, the dead body of Paylor himself.
Oh my god.
So, Margot, inside this one, opening the door, you see a small table and a pair of chairs with 2 long bookcases full of journals and prayer books with the sigils of Paylor the Dawnfather visible on the spines. Seems to be some kind of a workspace chamber, maybe potentially for a priest to be able to write sermons or something.
I was never good at religion. Can I just walk around and see if there's anything like out that's not overtly religious that may stand out?
Make an investigation check.
13.
13? Okay. Looking through, majority of the books are definitely, you know, like biblical is the wrong word, but entity or books speaking of the gods, speaking of the pantheon and the sort of different entities and deities that exist within the empire. Most of them, I would say over 60%, are specifically relating to Paylor, speaking of the exploits that he has been through, some of the discussions around the calamity, so the time that the gods fought the betrayer gods and exiled them from the planet and everything. There are a few notebooks tossed in here and there. You kind of just instinctively pull out a couple of those. And one of them is a little bit on the odd side. It's kind of less marked. Most of the others have like dates, and a lot of them are just like ideas for sermons and things that have been scribbled out and scratched off and written notes down, discussions of names and local places. But on a 12, you do notice that there is one journal that's a little bit on the more haphazard side, much thinner, and you can kind of pull that one out and take a bit of a look at it. And inside there, you see a very short entry kind of at the end of the book. And it says, "The individual reached out to me again today, provided me with something of interest. Not exactly sure what it does, but he said to ensure to use it when the most number of people were present. I may be using it this weekend on the sermon."
That's suspicious. That's weird. I can only assume that the long desk is his office. I'm gonna see if I can't go to the desk and maybe see if maybe it's like in a drawer. Like what? I'm gonna try searching for this item in particular.
Sure. Looking around the room, there are no cabinets, no chest of drawers, no chests. There isn't even a drawer on the table. It's just a very bare bones 4-legged table with 2 chairs sitting beside it, a couple of sheets of paper that look like they've been stacked up quite neatly but unused, and a few quills long dried.
What a tease. Alright.
Probably fucking poisoned the Kool-Aid. That's what he did. Damn.
Alright.
One of them murder-suicide cults, that is.
I can only assume that I myself have searched this room for everything that's in it.
Correct. You've done pretty well in searching that room.
Alright, I'm just gonna stay in there and continue combing through the books while everybody else is doing.
Okay, so you're kind of just pulling out a couple of details here and there, and it's mostly pretty dry, especially for you. Like, what are gods? Who cares?
I'm like, human shit, and I'm like tossing books like behind me.
Exactly. Phelan, though, you said you wanted to take a look inside the wardrobe?
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. So taking a look inside the wardrobe, at the very bottom, you see a half-dome shape and several small pieces of some kind of crystal or glass that lay shattered against the wood. Looks like if all the pieces they might have once at some point fit together, probably something about the size of, I don't know, maybe just a little bit larger than a baseball.
Okay, I gotcha. All right.
But shattered into dozens of tiny little splinters, and then a few slightly larger pieces in this one kind of half-dome shape.
Okay. You know what I'm gonna try and do? I'm gonna try and cast Identify. I have the Identify spell prepared, so I can choose one object that I touch throughout casting a spell, and if it is magic item or something magic imbued, you can learn its properties and how to use them. I'm gonna try and see if there is any residual magic around to see what this is.
Okay. So
can I do detect magic while he's doing that? I'm liking this vibe.
You certainly can.
Let's do it.
Okay, so Phelan, you start casting. I'm going to see if I can figure out what this is. And Galahad just, ooh, me too. So Phelan, you specifically looking at the half orb that's left.
Mm-hmm.
You cast Identify. You take a deep look at it. Turn it over. Doesn't seem to be anything magical about it. Galahad, you casting Detect Magic, kind of taking a look around the room, looking through the robes, looking through anything that remains inside that cabinet on the right side, and the bed, and the hallway, trying to see if there's any traces of what that creature was that remained. You get a slight glint of where the creature was destroyed. You see kind of like a slight, still foggy imprint on the ground a little bit, that the entity itself was magical, but nothing else in the room seems to ping that.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna grab the piece of the half broken piece of thing, just like to look around as we go around the rest of the church and stuff. I am also, just for clarification, going to pocket the priest's robes, just to
hang on. As you do that, as you're about to take them, consider the following, and Galahad will just like put the robes back in the chest and pick up the whole chest, because we have a wagon.
You know what? You are fucking right. I'll take that also. Yes. Yes, I will take the chest.
The chest itself is its own form of loot. I'm taking it.
I was gonna say it's like walk. Exactly. It's like, do you want to wear your new shoes out? No, I want the shoebox, man. That's the real treasure.
Yeah. But additional storage, and we have a wagon. I'm just saying.
So, Phelan, you kind of just grabbing that. Galahad, you picking up the chest and starting to make your way out into the main hallway. Phelan, you come around the corner. Phelan, go ahead and make an insight check for me as you take a look down the hallway and you notice this commoner.
Okay. 10 plus 3 for 13.
13, okay.
Wait a minute.
Okay. You see him look and kind of like look around and like is looking at Jules, who's still blocking the way downstairs, and it's just kind of like, can I get going? Like, I don't really need to be here anymore, okay? Like, it's a situation that I'm happy to be out of. I don't want to really die. And like kind of looks over at you for a second and just hesitates on the word, and then just looks back straight at Jules. So I'm just gonna go, and he like starts to like push his way past Jules a little bit, who I'm guessing is gonna prevent that.
As he does,
I'm
gonna put my massive metal hand on his shoulder and just like turn him around slightly and reach my hand into my pocket menacingly, but not really. And I'm going to give him 10 gold.
Okay, and he just kind of like expecting you to pull out a dagger and like stab him or something, and then he kind of hears the ching 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 and just opens his eyes and looks over and sees you like gesturing forward with your hand, and he just puts his hand out and you drop 10 gold into his hand, and you see his eyes just whoosh, like saucers. They just go so wide at the sight of 10 gold and looking up at you. And
while this is happening and I'm done rifling through all the books, can I just like walk out holding the small conspicuous one?
Yeah.
And like walk in on this happening?
100%. Yeah, you would hear them walking down this the hall and hear Galahad's heavy footsteps and the little crate kind of bumping into the wall as you walked. And you were able to walk out holding that little journal, still thumbing through it a little bit.
Mm-hmm. You said when he looked at me, he
when
Phelan,
he saw
right?
that thing that you were holding, he like looked at you, looked at the half broken orb, and then just kind of and then like started to really want to get out.
Okay. I'm gonna. Okay, so currently, line of thought is I think this person either broke it or might actually be the priest. So I'm gonna try and talk to him a little bit and see what's going on there. So I'll turn around to him and say, so you ever play football? You know, we can here, and I'll toss it over to him and see what happens as I like just toss him the emptied half orb.
Yeah, and he just kind of like instinctively sees a very sharp crystal shattered thing flying towards him, and just kind of and like actively tries to get out of the way. Oh my god, it's a natural 1. It impacts against his chest, and he kind of bobbles and fumbles it a little bit. And it badly starts to cut his hands as he's like trying to catch it a little, and then it impacts against the ground and shatters into a few more pieces.
I did not.
And he just kind of.
I did not.
What the hell is going on out here?
I'm
gonna dink him for 1 lay on hands.
And you see the cuts on his hands slowly start to heal a little bit, and he's just kind of. That was really sharp. Ow!
That was a really bad catch.
I never said I was good at catching. I don't know why you would throw a shattered glass orb at me.
Bailey,
why would you be scared of a glass orb?
I'm not. I'm scared of a glass orb because it's sharp. Okay.
Okay. So that's fair. That's fair. Now, what did you see this glass orb before? Do you know where it came from, or do you know what it is?
No, I have no idea where it came from. Okay, I legitimately you threw a piece of shattered glass at me. I wonder what the hell was going on.
Okay, that's fair. See, I that makes sense. However, whenever I see usually a ball of glass, I think, oh, that's super cool. I'm just gonna, mess around with it. Oh God.
20. That's
Nat
a nat 20 insight.
Nat 20 insight check. Okay.
Hell yeah. I'd be like, yeah, this is fine whenever I have this around, but I don't know. I think this ball might have been a little gaseous. I think it might have been not empty on the inside. What do you think?
I mean, things like that are usually pretty decorative, right? Like they might have a dead flower inside them or something. They might have nothing, glass blowing. Glass blowing's a pretty common thing. You put air bubbles inside gas and they make really pretty sculptures.
And Galahad, he's lying out his ass. He 100% recognizes that thing and is just trying to cover up something. You don't know what, but he's definitely knows that what that was, and it just isn't really saying anything.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my previously aforementioned large metal hand, put it on his shoulder again, and just it's a heavy hand. It's going to lean on him a little bit, and I'm just going to
Maybe you should just tell us the whole truth so that we get this over with.
Okay.
We kind of have somewhere to be.
And he kind of gestures and you kind of lift your hand off and he just Okay, I broke it. Okay, I broke it. Right? Okay. I haven't been doing very well lately. I've been spending a lot of money in Berleben. That new drink, it's pretty good. And I'm a little not the proudest person of the fact that I spent all my money on it. So I couldn't stay inside the city because I couldn't afford a room. So I came here and spent the night here. Okay? It's not a big deal. And then I thought maybe if there was something I could sell for a little bit of money, I could go back into the city and just, have a good time again. And I found that thing and I was holding on to it, and then I started to fumble with the chest, and then I dropped it, and then it smashed, and then that green stuff that was on the inside just started to get a little bigger, and then a little bigger, and then it was really big, and then it was fucking huge, and then it, tried to kill me.
I come out at that point, and I'm like, where did you find that? Where did you find it?
It was inside the cabinet, the wardrobe. It was just, sitting on a little shelf up at the top.
And Phelan, you did see that there was a shelf that was empty at the top of that. But it probably, if that thing were its full size, because you saw about half of it, if it were its full size, it would probably fit inside that.
Hold on. I'm going to throw my book to Phelan.
That's up.
And tell him to read the last passage. But I want him to roll to see if he catches it.
Okay. Phelan, make a dex check for me.
Thrown
object.
Actually, and Margot, make a dex check for how well you throw it, too.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no. I rolled a 13. And 9 plus 4.
I actually... So I rolled a 17 plus 2 for a 19.
19. Okay, so you essentially, you grab it by the corner and, pinch it just enough that the book isn't going to open, and then you frisbee... and it just twirls directly at Phelan. And Phelan, you just kind of like this, and you try to do it with 2 fingers, bobble it a little bit, but you do manage to hold on to it.
Phelan, read the last passage. This may have something to do with whatever you're doing here.
Yeah, and you read the same thing that Margot had read before, that there was an individual that came around, provided an interesting artifact that was said to be used at the next large gathering, and that the priest had planned to do so this weekend. But that was the last entry into the journal.
Don't get me wrong, but a giant noxious fart monster in the middle of a healthy, well-populated sermon does seem a little bit suspicious, don't you think?
Yes, it does. And you said you were down on your luck, little friend here. Do you know anything about the priest around here? You said he was gone.
And he just kind of like looks sheepishly over at Galahad and just kind of...
Yeah, okay, so, look, the priest died like, I don't know, a month and a half ago. There was a day that he went out at night, and you're not supposed to go out at night. There's a lot of woods in the area, and, you know, we're in a swamp, and there's some really big creatures that tend to attack you, and he I don't know, he maybe wanted to go on the midnight stroll, and he forgot about it, and then he just didn't show up, and everybody showed up for a sermon, and he wasn't there. And then they went upstairs, and he wasn't there. And then they kind of stopped coming around, and so this place hasn't been used for a while, and every once in a while people just kind of filter through and, you know, say their prayers to the Dawn Father, but they don't really want to go upstairs and sleep in a dead priest's bed. But, you know, I don't care.
I don't care either, especially about the sleeping in a dead person's bed. You know, if they're not sleeping in it, you might as well sleep in it. That's fair. Right. Okay. Yeah,
I think we're kind of done here. So I'm going to Galahad's going to, no more hand on shoulder, but I am like 8 feet tall, so I'm going to lean over to this gentleman who hasn't been totally honest with us. I'm going to look at him. I'm going to look at the gold he's got in his hands. I'm going to give him a real narrow-eyed glare.
Leave.
Yes, sir. And he just turns around and like high step boots down the stairs and just runs.
And leave. I'm not tripping.
Be gone, thought.
Be gone, thought.
And I'm just going to start thunking my way down the stairs with the chest.
Okay.
Back to the first floor.
Okay.
Or ground floor. I don't know how it works.
Yeah, ground floor. So you kind of like instinctively take a look downstairs and make sure there's none of the gas seeping downstairs or anything. All looks pretty clear, pretty clean and safe. So you take your way out with the chest, with the robes in it, start to make your way back towards the caravan. As you guys are making your way back, now kind of getting a little bit of a better chance to look around, get everybody to roll a perception check for me.
Yep.
Oh my,
absolutely.
that is like my 7th natural one tonight. Holy shit.
Plus
Bad.
0. Yeah. All right. 18.
18. Okay. Jules?
I got 14.
14.
16 for Haley.
16 for Margot. Phelan?
22.
22. Okay. So everybody on an 18 and above. So just Phelan, I believe, right? Yeah.
Oh.
So Phelan, everybody else is kind of taking a look around, and you guys saw this when you came in, right? You saw that the dilapidated stone buildings are barely standing at this point. It's cracked walls, broken in a lot of places, little bits of stone dotting the land. The roofs are almost entirely taken apart, save for a few small sections. But you just kind of like instinctively looking around and getting a little bit of a better view, and especially in your case with your bugbear dark vision, being able to look in a little bit to some of the darkness, you see that your eyes focus on the inside and you don't see much. But you see a few off-white silky threads, but larger than you normally see for spiders.
What the fuck?
And then it kind
of
clues in for you in a second where what this guy had said about not going out at night might be because of large creatures that come in out of the woods, which could include giant spiders.
Jesus.
So there's a
oh my god.
So there's a pretty good chance that the priest might have gone out a little bit too far and been caught by one of these spiders before he'd make it back inside.
Oh God. Hey, yo, screw the priest. What's the sun situation outside right now?
It is bright.
Are we about to get eaten by
No, it is
Don't
bright.
worry.
You guys left at like 6 a.m., 7 a.m. By this point, having taken a little bit of a look around, reading through things a little bit, it's closing in on 8 o'clock. Like, the caravans that were... you guys got an earlier start than most of the caravans did because you realized you wanted to make up for the lost time that you had incurred the previous day. But by this point now, most of the caravans are starting to travel through. You can see that yours is still being well taken care of. Nobody's really stopping or grabbing anything off of it, and there's quite a few people passing through. A lot of noise, a lot of raucousness to it, and just taking a step outside, you don't see anything that would indicate that there are any spiders in the area at the moment. You would imagine most likely that it's something that they come out at night once things are a little bit quieter, maybe trying to pick off one caravan traveler or merchant that maybe got a little stranded that was trying to push it through the evening.
Okay. Yeah. I'll grab a piece of web and I'll like swing it around and turn to the homies and say, it looks like they might have become spider chew. Which tracks, but I'm trying to throw it off.
Gross.
Yeah. We definitely should not be traveling at night here. I mean, we could take it on, but I'd rather not. Yeah.
Is there a shrine and or an offering bowl in the ground floor?
Yeah, in the downstairs area. It's not really a shrine or bowl per se, but it's more of... let me just pull this part up. Yeah, it's more of like a stone altar where you would be able to see probably a couple of maybe dried flowers, no coin or anything like that, but a couple of things that might just be little offerings of some kind, maybe some long dried wheat or some dried up vegetables that were put there at some point in the past.
I do feel a little bad for the pseudo-desecration of the temple that kind of has been happening, so I'll just take another 2 gold pieces and place them on the altar and sort of just bow my head for a second respectfully and then nod, pick up my chest and head out.
Okay. So you place the gold pieces down and just kind of look up, and you see that there's a fairly brilliant carving of a sun that looks to have been made out of wood, and then certain parts of it are painted gold. So just kind of giving the illusion of rays of sunlight coming off of it a little bit, and that's a relief that's just placed up against the wall. And bow your head a little bit, pay a bit of respect, and a couple of coins on top of some of the dried flowers, and you guys head out.
It's a hard holiday, respectfully.
Let's get the hell out of here.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Now, do we think we can spot some spiders on our way? I'd like to see one, but like giant spiders, but not like get any
Stop.
close.
As an Australian, stop. I don't know what you're into, all right? You don't want this. You don't want this.
You don't want the smoke.
You don't
I
want
heard
this
once of
shit,
a really
man.
famous spider. I think it was called Aragog, if I remember correctly. I don't know. There was some text for some crazy woman.
God.
She obviously is not very relevant nowadays, but
Mongolia?
Okay, yeah. We'll head back unless anybody's got anything else to do. Jump on and get to going.
All right.
Load the chest onto the wagon.
Yeah.
I will say though,
Yeah.
Jules, next time you want to help somebody, may not walk us all into a noxious fart monster.
Yeah. That's typically the goal, I would say, and should typically be the goal.
And
Yeah, I don't think my esophagus is going to be the same. That was some very rancid bile.
Les kind of pipes up
Yes.
at that moment and goes,
Well, everybody likes their own brand a bit, but nobody likes anybody else's.
Nah.
There's like an
That is the
audible
most
metal
Les
on
thing.
metal clank as I face palm.
I hate how extremely in character that was.
That was exactly
It's like he's right here.
I'm doing you proud,
It's almost
Kevin.
Like you've been friends with Kevin for so long.
It's like I've known the guy for 5 years. All right.
Wow.
So you guys making your way back into the caravan, sidling up again, and making sure that the guild is doing okay. You know, she's just kind of spinning a dagger, and she's carved a little hole in one of the benches. It's just like, oh, took you guys long enough. Okay, let's go. So Les saddles up to the front again with Galahad. You guys just hit the horses and start to get them moving, or hitch the horses up again, start to get them moving, and you guys are back on the road. So
On the road again.
on the road again. Okay, so
Yeah. I walk a lonely road.
the only one that
The only one
that
that
All right.
All right, emo playlist. Let's go.
Let's go. Pop punk
Gilda,
from the
put the
90s.
tunes on.
All right.
Hey,
so,
yo, how's she?
Yeah, how is my
That's
daughter?
not funny. That joke's not funny because I'm actively listening to my emo playlist. So fuck you guys.
I have a pop punk playlist that I listen to on Spotify all the time. Don't even
I'm
add
allowed
me.
to make this joke, all right?
Okay.
I am part of that community.
I am an active member of that community.
Breaking Benjamin is in my Spotify Wrapped. Thank you very much.
Blink is 182.
Yeah. And Lincoln
Shakira,
is
Shakira.
And Lincoln is Park.
Lincoln
So,
is Park.
anyway. All right, so back
Lincoln
on the
is
road.
parked in Lincoln Park with Lincoln Park.
All right, so hopping back onto the road. As the days wear on, you notice the road ahead is very chock full of caravans. This road going from Berleben down to Zadash is unbelievably well traveled. Very similar to what you had seen going from Felderwin and onto Berleben, but even more so as more and more caravans are leaving and more kind of following in your same direction. And you start to just kind of create almost a bit of a convoy. Right, like you have multiple wagons in front, multiple wagons behind. Nobody really setting a much faster pace than anybody else. You're all just kind of moving at the speed that you move. It's a couple more days, give or take 3, maybe 4 more days to get from Berleben all the way out. But we'll do here, I'll have Margot. Go ahead and roll me a d10.
Okay.
Meteor falls from the sky and kills the convoy.
Boom.
Ooh, a 10.
A 10.
Surprising.
Okay. So on a 10,
no.
it is a very peaceful day. Nothing
thank God.
transpires because last time it was a 10, but it changes to another number after you guys have that encounter. So it is a very peaceful day traveling within the Empire. You don't really notice anything amiss. The weather overhead is incredibly nice. The sun is beaming brightly. Les is kind of like putting on enough clothes to make sure that he doesn't dry up in the sun. But you guys are able to push on for the better part of 4 days. 5 days, making your way south out of Berleben towards Zadash. And as things start to come to an open, about maybe halfway through the 5th day or so, as the road meanders, the ground begins to harden. Oh, sorry, hang on. Yeah, the ground begins to harden even further, and you notice the road ahead is getting much wider, more stable and well taken care of. The edges of the road go from haphazard and slightly broken bits of clay to very sharp and well-defined. Look like they've almost been maintained. While the number of caravans stays roughly the same, you notice more citizens walking or on horseback, and stalls set up selling fresh fruit, produce, assorted meats, some raw, others cooked and tingling your noses with assorted spices. Far off in the distance, probably a good few miles still, maybe 2 dozen miles, you see a massive sprawling city starts to come into view. The crossroads of the southern region of the Empire and a smaller sister city to Rexentrum. You find yourselves on the road leading toward Zadash. For those of you in the chat, and obviously the players, because we haven't really experienced this before, Zadash was the capital of the Jewless Dominion before it was conquered by the Dwendalian Empire nearly 200 years ago. King Bertrand Dwendal, the current ruler of the Dwendalian Empire, is the one whose family members led that crusade centuries ago. Now, Zadash serves as a bastion of law, civilization, and military might within the Marrow Valley, one of the southern parts of the Empire. The city accommodates heavy traffic through its winding streets, serving noble diplomats, countless trade caravans, and rushing messengers from all across western Wynandir and the Menagerie Coast, effectively working as a bridge between the more lawless areas of the south and the more lawful areas of the north. As Zadash comes clearer into view, even at this great distance, you see that it was clearly made with a purpose in mind. A perfectly symmetrical, near triangle of a city. Its walls enclose a teeming mass of architecture and life. Massive gates are set into each wall, with guards dotting every inch of them, keeping an eye on the throng of people below. And at this distance, you also catch a glimpse of 3 unique soaring towers within the northern metropolis, and a second, slightly smaller wall that creates a rounded division between this northern section and the rest of the city. I'm just going to go ahead and pop an image into the Discord here so you guys see kind of what you're looking at. Oops. This is kind of what you're looking at here. And for everybody on stream, give me a second. I will pop that in here for you guys.
That's so cool. Oof. Jordy, I'm getting PTSD. The darkness is in Zadash.
The darkness?
The darkness is right.
The darkness. All right. There we go. So for those of you on stream,
That's so
if anybody
cool.
has never seen Critical Role before, or if you've never actually seen an image of Zadash, this is effectively what you're looking at. So nearly perfectly symmetrical vertically, folding over on itself, and you can see that ringed wall that separates the northern part of the city. But in your case,
Yo, do we think go to like the pool up on the tip? We're gonna find a way to get there. We're gonna
Beach
go.
trip, let's go.
Yeah. Yes.
So the main road continues on, meandering a bit until it forks, with one section heading further south and on for about another 5 miles or so towards one of these massive gates. In your case, the one at the top right of where you're looking at that image. While the other path breaks off northwest with a large marker for the Amber Road and Rexentrum. So, you have a choice if you want to continue on and find your way down towards Zadash, or if you want to stay on the road and start to head further up towards Rexentrum.
How are we doing for travel supplies and rations?
Travel supplies and rations, you guys have been doing okay. One of the nice things about traveling on these roads is you're not backpacking through like very sparsely populated areas where food is difficult to find. Every night you're kind of able to find people that are setting up roasts around fires and merchants that are hawking the last bits of produce that are kind of at the end of their life, probably not going to make it to the next city. So you've been able to eat fairly well while you're on the road. You've maybe touched 2 days of your 2 weeks of rations. And you know, looking at the map and from about rough estimates, that if you wanted to push on towards Rexentrum, it would be about another 10 days or so. So you've got more than enough food to do that. It's a matter of if you want to do that and complete the task that was assigned, or if you want to take a little bit more time and explore this while you're here.
What do we think, gang?
I mean, we honestly, I think if we stay, I think we need to at least see if we can find some representative of the assembly here. It would be nice to get rid of the box here rather than all the way at Rexentrum, just because there's another 10 days of carrying an item that assassins are after.
Also makes us look a bit better in the eyes of the assembly when it comes to our procuring of this box as well.
And whatever's inside it will be a little bit more defended inside of this massive walled city.
So while they're talking about all of this, I just am in the back, slightly squeezing Gilda's shoulder, knowing my time to say goodbye to her is drawing closer.
Oh. Yeah, so
Ow! Ow!
absolutely not going.
The audacity!
Yeah, you guys get worried. I'm over here having a family moment.
Okay.
He's okay.
We're family.
We are family. Margot and Gilda and me.
Margot
Great.
Diesel.
Okay.
You know what? We'll never let you down, family. Fast and the Furious.
No. Okay,
Family.
will then take some time at Zadash. Maybe find somebody from the assembly. Maybe get some. Maybe we can get a reward. If we get a reward, then maybe Maybe we can spend it here.
The reward would be a bonus, but offloading this dangerous cargo that makes us a target is kind of self-rewarding. But anything else is extra.
Yeah.
Anything else is cherry on
Spend it
top.
here on what?
What?
Spend it here on what?
I don't know. Maybe they have more magic items that we can procure, or booze. To be completely fair,
That's true.
it's like the for sure we can get here. I'm 100%. Do we think that as I start walking in, I'll just like start talking about like what I hope from Zadash and shit? Like, do we think they have drinks special to the place? Maybe we could just be like, give us the Zadash special, and hopefully it's not like
It's a punch in the face.
getting stabbed in an alleyway or that. Yeah.
It's a crack in the jaw from the barkeep. Welcome to Zadash.
No.
All right,
Yeah,
we're
that's
gonna at least take some time in Zadash to get situated. I think stocking up on just a little bit more rations better safe than sorry. Because if we're burning another 10, just in case, it's always better to
What
have
if we
too
get
much than
stranded?
little.
Exactly.
Not to mention rations
And-
aren't exactly the most expensive thing to buy.
No.
Definitely not.
They're probably cheaper than booze.
They are cheaper than booze. You're basically buying
Definitely.
dried crackers.
Mostly for you
How
guys.
would we go about? Shut up! I hate you. Don't never eat robot. Oh, how do we think? How are we gonna find somebody from the assembly? Do we just like go around yelling for the assembly, or like? I mean, I
There's
know
only
that'll
one-
get their attention.
Oh yes,
There's
just
one
yelling.
place to go.
Cerberus Assembly. Hello, I'm looking for the Cerberus Assembly. I'm sure.
Where
that-
do you go when you enter a new town or a city for the first time and you need information?
The information center.
The adult shop.
The tavern, you idiots.
Yeah. Okay.
Man, I really thought I was on something there.
I was going to say all three valid responses. The information
No.
center, the hookers, and the tavern,
Okay.
The tavern, the people who've been there the longest.
the dirty bookshop.
Have you never
The
started
sex
an
shop.
adventure before, ever?
Okay,
Going to
fine.
the
I
erotica
mean-
bookstore first for information purposes.
Mm.
Yes,
Gross.
interesting.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay,
it's a
the
picture
tavern. Yeah.
Let's-
And we might as well, like, are we gonna stay the night here? Do we think is probably a better way? I mean, honestly, if we just spend the day and find where we need, might as well just
I
like book a
think
place,
that
get to a
Gilda
tavern.
deserves to spend at least one day out of this travel in a nice warm bed that isn't on a wagon. So
That's fair. The rest of us, though,
And that
we're
isn't
gonna
in
be-
a bougie
Humans.
mansion.
you human people can do whatever you want, I guess.
we're gonna be passed out in the gutter by the
You
morning.
know,
Don't worry
you
about
have
it.
to sleep.
Can I just be holding Gilda's hand this entire time? That's all I want. I just want to hold Gilda's hand this entire time.
You can see that she's definitely kind of holding on to you a little bit tighter, and like with the discussion, especially seeing the sign kind of turning north and knowing that it's less than 2 weeks away at this point. But you can see that she's also kind of maybe a little excited about going to Rexentrum and like the promises that were made where she's able to study with the Cerberus Assembly and put her knowledge to use. You can see that she's like, you know, the kid who like doesn't really want to go to camp but like is kind of excited about the idea of getting to go wakeboarding or snowboarding for the first time, that kind of thing.
I'm not gonna.
That's
cry.
what you do at camp in Canada.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
cry. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry.
That's
You
amazing.
look forward to those camping trips until you find out, oh, sorry, we got to go vegetarian. We didn't bring anything to keep meat in, so you're just an involuntary vegetarian for a week, and it's the worst thing ever.
Tell us
Definitely
how
not
you
good
really
for your-
I feel like this is a really like touchy subject, like, really close to your heart.
I was gonna say
Or
this
when
is
you're
sorry.
or when you're a diabetes camp counselor and most of your kids have celiac, so you can't have gluten for the entire week and it's 105 degrees outside.
Oh God.
I feel like these are all very specific, unique experiences, and I'm realizing that I should just shut my mouth about my wakeboarding and snowboarding.
I love.
Yeah, joke's on you, Jordy. I went on a skiing trip once, and a tree killed my aunt.
That was I was expecting you to say, and a tree smacked me in the face. What?
No, it was a very aggressive
I'll
sycamore.
have you know that camps are traumatic for this entire party.
Was it a
love
whomping
camp.
willow?
Yeah.
Okay.
God.
Anyway, hi, we're on stream.
Yeah.
It's good to see all of you. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Chaos. So... all right, so you guys are deciding to stop by in Zadash?
Yes.
Absolutely, and we will head to the tavern.
Alrighty, so making your way down towards that kind of northeastern entrance into the city, you see the vast majority of caravans are not actually heading towards that gate. A lot of them seem to be following the roads that end up following along that eastern wall down towards the southern side of the city. Maybe one in 20 caravans, like a very small number of them, actually make their way towards that gate, and some of them who actually do make it to the gate end up, you can see, turning around and coming back towards the main path and then heading down along that wall. So where do you guys want to go? Do you want to try for that gate, or do you want to head south?
If we see one that's being turned around, I'll sort of just wave out and ask why everyone's getting turned around. What's so special about this gate?
So you see kind of you see a pair of halfling siblings, two sisters, just kind of pulling back a fairly small wagon with a few donkeys at the front of it, just kind of, we've been turned around because we're not allowed into the Tri Spires. Apparently it's the really nice part of the city, and where you have to have some kind of an invitation to be able to get in there. We just didn't know. So the guards just told us to follow along the wall and head down towards the main entrance on the south side of the city.
Oh, this is pieces of shit.
And so this is where you kind of look in, and you saw those three massive towers that were just scaling up well above the height of the walls outside the city. The name Tri Spires kind of makes sense for matching what that is. And so you can see that the two of them really just didn't know. They don't look upset or offended or anything. They just didn't know that they were supposed to enter into the city from another place.
Well, we definitely don't have an invitation, so let's head towards the south entrance. I don't want to step on
that's
anyone's
fine.
toes when we get here.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, okay, but hear me out, right? Okay.
Oh, no.
What if all of you, right, pull out your your guard amulets, and then I dress up as the priest, and then we go in and we say we have godly business.
I don't.
How about we don't?
Yeah.
How about we don't do that and cause
Okay.
more trouble?
Would
than we need?
the question is, would the robes even fit you? I don't know.
If
You
not-
might be showing a little too much ankle, and I don't believe those of religious purposes show ankle. You might be considered a harlot.
Have you not seen the priest annual calendar? I would fit perfectly as Mr. March. It's okay. Yeah.
Just like
Is that
Ben
a
pressing
thing?
buttons.
I say as I ask Jules. Is that actually a thing?
Why are you asking me? I literally just entered the world like 6 months ago.
Galahad pulls out his edition
know,
of
it's
the
always-
priestly month calendar.
It's always the sheltered ones that have the weirdest kinks. I don't know. What do you want me to say to you?
As Lance
Jules
just
just
dies in their room.
No, yeah, that's in character. Jules just like
That checks out.
walks away.
Yeah.
Jules just walks away quickly.
Just
Is that a no?
I think you're right.
Galahad just tucks his copy of the priest with yearly calendar into his jacket. Little tighter.
I see you. We got this. We'll make
I'm
our own
April, by the
edition.
way.
Yeah, baby. Hey.
All right, so
Dungeons and Dragons, y'all. Dungeons
Never gonna get
Dungeons and
inside
Daddies. Oh God. So
Dungeons, Dragons, and religious calendars featuring beefy metal men.
Dungeons, Dragons, and religious trauma.
Yes.
So
I'm gonna
Making-
need a calendar.
no,
It's a good thing I'm a graphic artist. I could make this happen.
Haley making all of our dreams come true.
Yes, please.
Yes, please. So, making your way a little bit south along the eastern wall, you're kind of following the bulk of these caravans, and you see that there are quite a few that are also kind of filtering in and out of this bottom section. You travel on for another couple of miles. Like, the city is very large north to south, until eventually you round a corner and you're able to see, again, this very large southern wall that faces almost due south. And you see it looks how you would imagine almost a heart to look. constant caravans traveling in and others coming out from the other side, others going in and out from the other side as well. It's just this teeming mass of people going inside and outside of the southern entrance to the city. As you guys had wandered in as well, you were able to get a little bit of a better view, kind of looking over the wall, just trying to get an idea of what's inside from a few areas out. And you had seen, in addition to that wall, that kind of semicircular one that separated off that area you now know is referred to as the Tri Spires. You had seen that things tended to get more populated the further south you are. So more densely clustered buildings, a lot more people in and amongst the roads. But in the dead center of the city, almost, a perfect piece of symmetry, is a massive circle ring road. And that you don't know exactly what it is, but you saw that kind of looking into the city from the outside. And you would imagine that ring road, and it was, as you saw, bifurcated up the middle by a very straight stretch of very high quality maintained road. So as you guys are starting to make your way in towards the south entrance, you can see that there is a very large guard presence here. In comparison to the other ones that you'd seen where they were definitely there, but there were only a couple of them on the ground. Here there are a lot of people that are seeming to get stopped, papers getting checked by a few different individuals, quite a few caravans that are kind of getting waved through at a time, usually a couple of individuals that either look like they know somebody and kind of like, oh yeah, John, come on through, and do like that, or like a brief interaction between people and a bit of a handshake, and then the caravan is allowed through very quickly in comparison to some of the others. So you guys are starting to make your way a little bit closer to that.
I'll whack on my Huppaduke Crown's Guard badge.
Okay.
Could help.
And I'm gonna prep up a little pouch of money and put like 5 gold in it just in case.
Okay.
So yeah, if we need to.
I put my hand on both the badges that I have, one from the Dead Guard, from Excentrum, and then the other from the Huppaduke one. And I have both of them potentially ready, depending on how the situation plays out.
Okay.
Who do I need to be today?
Yeah, whose mask am I gonna put on today?
Alrighty. So, you guys starting to make your way towards the southern entrance into Zadash. You see this massive gate looming before you. And that's going to be where we're going to take our quick break. So, we're going to quickly refill some water. We're probably about halfway through or so. We're running a little bit behind tonight, but we should be doing pretty good. We'll be back here maybe 10 minutes or so. Give us a chance to grab a little bit of a snack. And then we'll be back for the entrance into Zadash, potentially. We don't know. We'll see you guys back here soon.
Woo, woo, woo.
Fill the calendar.
And we're back. To fill the calendar.
I want to be Miss September.
To fill the calendar, baby.
I want to be Miss September.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody in chat. We appreciate you guys sticking around through our break. We are back for the second half of this episode as the group. Your party, your still undeclared name of your party, is beginning to push in towards the southern entrance towards the city of Zadash. Let me go ahead and grab some.
Guard is formerly known as the IRS.
Yeah. All right. So let's go for an upbeat city. There we go. So, as you guys are starting to pull in or push in a little bit towards the southern side of the city, you see this massive gate, a bunch of guards waving caravans through, some being stopped and searched thoroughly, others being stopped briefly, a handshake exchanged, and then allowed to pass through without any real incident. What is it you guys would like to do?
Ooh.
Pull up.
Yeah. Pull up in the club like I forget. Yeah. Walk into the club like, what up? We got some big bucks.
Big bucks.
Yeah.
I'm just pumped. I got
use it
from a thrift shop.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. No. I'll take a step back and let Galahad try and get us through. Hopefully with the badge and shit. That'll be the best.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay behind his backup.
Give him the blue steel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll pull up to the entrance.
Okay. So massive gate. You're looking probably at least 100 feet, 150 feet across. 8 to 10 caravans at a time pushing in and out. Lots of guards stopping people on the outside. Very few preventing anybody from leaving, but more ensuring that specific caravans are stopped as you guys start to make your way in. Who is going to be driving the caravan? I'm going to say Les is in the back with this one because he's not here. Who wants to be driving the caravan up front?
Jules will do it.
Jules?
I would recommend me being the front face.
Okay. All right. So, Jules, go ahead and make an animal handling check for me.
Oh.
Shit. Oh, no.
That is an 11.
An 11. Okay. So, you're not getting any, like, crazy resistance from the horses. They're not exactly following your every direction, but you're able to manage them on a straight path, and it's not hard to kind of follow suit in and amongst behind a couple of the other caravans. And you see a couple of eyes start to look out a little bit, and then a bit of a whinny as you kind of pull a little bit too hard on one of the reins, and then one of the horses just kind of and like veers off a little bit. One of the guards kind of comes over and just halt, and gets you to come to a stop, and you just
what can I help you with?
Haven't seen you around before. Do you have your paperwork in order?
I'm sorry. Which paperwork exactly?
Oh, I assumed by the size of the caravan that you're a merchant. Are you here to sell goods, or are you just traveling through? What is your purpose for visiting Zadash?
Just traveling through.
Oh, just traveling through. All right. Well, we just need to do a quick little inspection, make sure that everybody is up to snuff, and make sure that we're not trying to get anybody through our walls. Can't have any crime within the city, of course. If you could just have everybody disembark for me, and please just come around to the side. We'll just do a quick little check on everyone, and we'll be good to go.
Cool. Jules will turn to the back of the caravan and be like, they're wanting to search the caravan and asking all of us to step out.
Shit. You know what?
I shrug and just clunk out of the back of the wagon.
Cool. Jules is also going to do that.
Okay.
And just to, like, refresh my mind, but the box that we couldn't open from the explosion is hidden in the bag of holding, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay,
Yeah,
so they
it's
can't
small
find
enough
that
to fit
yet.
inside the bag holding.
Yeah, I'll disembark as well.
Okay. So you
I
just
jump out
muffled
after helping Gilda get out of the back.
All right, so Gilda kind of just hops down a little bit, and then you hop out after. And Les just hops out and very pridefully, like, kind of stands up a little bit more straight than you've seen him before, and he just kind of walks around to the side, and you guys all start to line up, and then, all right, are we good to search inside?
You should be, yes. Go ahead.
Perfect. Thank you for being so open. We appreciate the compliance. All right, men.
Trap runes.
And he just kind of he gestures for two other Crownsguard to come over, and they just start to take a bit of a look. Remind me, there's nothing that you guys are hiding in the caravan, right? It's
Nope.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
All right. So they begin searching for any kind of illicit goods, any kind of contraband that may be brought into the city or anything like that. And you see the one that stops you and just pulls over, and, you know, I appreciate you just being so open and willing to let us just search this. You wouldn't believe how many people get so uppity about us asking for a simple search. It's like suddenly people don't trust guards all of a sudden.
I just sort of look down at my badge and remember the explosion from the previous guard's trap. I'm just like, yeah, weird.
Oh yeah, we're so very compliant. We've never once thrown a fuss about anything.
When did people start not trusting gods?
I don't really know, to be honest. It's been a bit of a tough time of late. Not exactly easy for people who are just simply wanting to make their way in the world.
A tough time how?
Well, inherently, people always think that we're only capable of accepting bribes and only willing to do things that are in our own self-interest, not actually wanting to defend any of the people of the cities that we take care of.
And I'm sure the war hasn't helped.
Well, that too. It doesn't exactly help when you've got an entity like the Dynasty that tries to subvert your borders and enter into your city and cause havoc everywhere. Thankfully, we're far enough inland, we don't really get too much of that coming over from the Ashkeeper Peaks.
But speaking of, you wouldn't happen to know where we could find a representative of the Cerberus Assembly in town, do you?
The Cerberus Assembly, of course. You would need to have an invitation or some kind of a reason to go there. But up into the Tri Spires, you'd be able to, to find an area there, one of which is a building known as the Zarber Spire. It's an extension of one of the larger areas within Rexentrum, where the Cerberus Assembly kind of has a sister area, essentially a larger school of magic of some kind. Up in Rexentrum, it's known as the Solstice Academy. Down here, it's a central tower called the Halls of Erudition. You simply aren't able to head in there, though. Are you all members of the Cerberus Assembly? I see you're sporting a badge of some kind. I don't know the city of that off the top of my head. Where is that from?
It's the Hupperdew Crownsguard. It's where we were recruited to do some work for the Assembly. We need to hand off a few things.
Oh, I'm sure something could possibly then be arranged. If you wanted to make your way closer into the center of the city, you should be able to find some of the guard barracks. If there's a specific reasoning that you need to speak to anybody, maybe a specific person that you're looking to talk to within the Zarber Spire, within the Halls of Erudition, I'm sure that something could be arranged if you're upstanding citizens as you seem to be.
Beautiful.
Yes. Wink. No, that sounds perfect.
You see Phelan, he just kind of like gives a little bit of a side eye, and it's just like, it's not often that we see men of your stature in this area.
We're not exactly your average group of people. Kind of why the Cerberus Assembly wants our help.
Well, far be it from me to make any judgment calls of that kind. Usually, the Assembly, I know, does keep a bit of a varied array of individuals under their purview, so I'm sure that you shouldn't have much of an issue. Just do your best not to catch the attention of the guards in a bad way. You should be fine to make your way through the city.
As an 8-foot-tall metal man, I'll do my best.
Well, in a bad way. You can catch their attention, just don't do anything that we, Crownsguard, wouldn't approve of, right? And he kind of thunks you on the chest a little bit.
Understood loud and clear.
Never done anything ever to never not be
I
approved.
reach out for a firm and appreciative handshake.
And he reaches out as well and heartily shakes your hand and kind of gives you a couple extra shakes to like make sure that he's like us trying to assert his dominance, and you feel like a slight squeeze, but nothing major. And he just kind of looks back, and the guards that are searching the caravan just kind of give him a quick little okay, and he just kind of, right, well, the caravan is good to go. So, questions for you. What is your purpose in Zadash, aside from seeing the Cerberus Assembly, or is that the only one?
Wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy? Just kidding.
Also, just a little bit of shopping and resupplying for the road ahead. Headed to Rexentrum after this.
Oh, straight on to Rexentrum, so just restocking. Obviously, quite used to a lot of people coming through our gates for that. Go ahead and just roll a persuasion check for me on that one.
Okie dokie.
You can have advantage with this because you guys have been amicable.
Hell yeah.
Well, thank goodness for that. 22.
22. Okay. You just, oh yes, the classic story. It's not exactly something far out of the realm of purview. Pretty bare caravan aside from your luggage. Obviously, we didn't delve too deep into that. Just had to make sure there wasn't any contraband being smuggled into our borders. Everything seems on the up and up. How long are you expecting to spend within our walls?
Maybe just the day and the night?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So heading out again probably tomorrow morning, afternoon, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Great.
Probably an early start, if our previous adventures are anything to go by.
Sounds good. Well, you should have a good amount of time, probably a good 6-7 hours of light left in the day. You should be able to make it to the guard barracks and hopefully get some kind of an entrance in to speak to your Cerberus Assembly later on tonight. Do you have anybody that you're staying with? Do you know anywhere that specifically you're looking to stay within the city?
I've never been before. Anyone else?
Where would you recommend?
Oh, well, there's quite a few places, actually, that could be quite decent for you to spend some time in. Off the top of my head, one of my favorites is one that's not exactly that well known. You'd be looking at the Omni Shelter, That's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Usually good for people who are willing to spend a little bit more coin. It's going to be into the central area of the city. Actually, now that you mentioned it, none of you are from Zadash. Obviously, you've never been here. Do you know how the city is laid out? Do you know the areas to go, the areas to avoid, anything like that? No?
We did
The only
hear
thing we
about
know
the
is
Tri
we go to
Spire.
the Zarber Spire.
Okay. So,
Yep.
the Zarber Spire is within the area known as the Tri Spires. That's kind of the northern side of the city. When you get inside, and obviously from the outside, you probably saw those large gates. I'm not sure which direction you came in from. But there are large gates that enter and exit from the Tri Spires directly out into the areas beyond. And then there are an additional 2 gates that are on the inside of the city. You can travel through any of those to make your way into the Tri Spires. It's kind of the more upstanding area. Not a lot of crime that happens there, and usually families that are a bit on the wealthier side tend to reside within that district. The closer you get to the southern wall, things are a little bit more haphazard. You'd be looking at more working class individuals, people who are a bit maybe down on their luck, looking for a turn of fortune. Maybe a tinkerer who's come up with a brilliant invention, so he claims, trying to make a bit of extra coin. Essentially, the further north you get, the nicer things get. The one area that I would recommend for a group of your size, I'm sure, given the fact that you're working with the Assembly, you probably have a bit of coin on you. You might want to take a look at the Penta Market. Penta Market is kind of an eclectic mix of caravans and travelers and merchants from not only within Zadash, but from all around the city who pay quite top dollar to have an area that they can call their own within this pentagonal market. It's at the merging of the 5 main roads within the city of Zadash.
Okay.
Beyond that,
Okay.
well, I mean, given your stature, and he kind of looks up at you, Phelan and Galahad, you two, obviously not to say that the rest of you wouldn't be capable, but you two especially strike me as individuals that might do quite well in the Victory Pit. It's an area kind of closer to the center of the city in a temple for the Allhammer, where creatures of different variety tend to be brought out on occasion for games of show and sportsmanship. Not exactly the safest place. Don't go in there expecting to walk out with all of your limbs or fingers, or toes for that matter. But if you were looking to make a bit of coin or looking to impress some individuals within the city, it might be a place worth going.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, the Penta Market, and then we can go to the fighting pits. Yeah, no, that sounds like a good plan. We'll probably hit the Zarber Spire first, and then the Zarber Spire, and then come back down and check out everything else.
Fantastic. Oh, I can see there's a bit of a lineup. I apologize, I've spent a bit too much time. I don't see any reason why you shouldn't be able to enter into the city. You've been very upstanding individuals, very confident in the things that you're wanting to do within our city. Obviously, if your stay ends up increasing for any reason, hopefully we don't end up having to see you on the other end of my patience. But for today, welcome to Zadash.
Thank you very much.
And he kind of gestures for you guys to walk past, and everybody loads back up in the caravan. And you guys start to push your way through this massive gate.
Yay!
Sweet.
I still think the priest plan would have worked great.
We're here for next year's calendar shoot. Can't you tell?
Yeah, baby.
Tight black V-necks.
Yeah.
All right, so stepping through the gated wall into Zadash, you see that the buildings are an eclectic mix of older Julius architecture and modern Dwendalian construction, giving the picturesque triangular city a varied and almost mismatched look. The main road runs perfectly north through the center of the city, splitting it into 2 equal halves of industry, residences, and commerce. Being this close to the wall, you see it's compiled mostly as slums, hovel neighborhoods that cluster around the city walls. Crafters stand beside ramshackle stalls outside homes and workshops, trying to catch the eye of anybody that walks past and seems to even have a single coin to their name. Workers covered in mud and soot trudge through these areas, wearily making their way back towards homes and taverns to spend their daily pittance earnings. pushing in for about another 10 minutes or so, you see things start to brighten up a little bit. The muddy, caked nature starts to become a little bit more vibrant, a little more colorful. Well-treated wood starts to make its way through. Homes are beginning to be painted actual colors instead of just the bare bones color of the wood or maybe a bit of mud or stain that had been there. And as the road continues, you see it builds into a labyrinth of houses, seemingly owned by working class people of Zadash. You see some wearing slightly nicer clothes, nothing really ostentatious or pompous of any kind, but nothing that would be out of place in any other major city or any other area that you've been. Definitely not definitely not individuals that are farmhands or individuals that would have those kind of lower echelon tier jobs. And it bends between the other districts, kind of acting as a boundary between the more hovel and slum on the southern side of the city and the much nicer side when you hit closer into the Tri Spires. Here you see a few of the temples are very nicely made. A couple of individual sigils, and this is kind of where you're getting more into the deity side of things, whereas the southern side is pretty much all residences. You see much of the architecture is simple and built for function, but is crafted well and well taken care of. And then as you guys close in on the center of town, that large ring road, you see commerce start to become much more common. Another angular area draws your attention, the Penta Market that the guard mentioned outside, with a massive bazaar that rests at the central junction of the city's 5 roads. All manner of guild shops and businesses are present, showing wares and lodging for droves of weary travelers. And as you make your way in, you see a rush of teens and 20-somethings of human, halfling, a couple of dwarves here and there, a few half-elves. They all push through the crowd with a ring of, "To the victory pit!" cries out, and they all smile and shout at each other, "Huzzah!" And they rush off towards a massive temple with depicting a sigil of a hammer with a pair of bearded dwarven faces on either striking face. So you would imagine that was most likely the temple of the Allhammer that the guard had mentioned. But at this point, you find yourselves pretty much in the center of Zadash. You have industry abound. You've got all kinds of wares that you can take a look at. What is it you guys would like to do?
This is all seems pretty nice. How do we feel about dropping off our things and heading off first to the assembly, unloading our cargo, if you will, and then jumping back to the day at the city?
Don't want to hold on to that cargo any more than we need to, so I reckon trying to at least schedule a meeting with the assembly should be number 1 priority, and then we can hippity hop our way around.
And at this point, Les just kind of pipes up and, "I can help with that one pretty easily."
With which one? I'm very worried about the whichever way the answer goes.
Well, you
Les,
guys
do you
need
want to
meet
get
with the
this done
assembly,
just so you
right?
can go to the fighting pits?
No.
Can I roll an insight check?
Yes, you can.
Oh my god.
Absolutely.
Oh my god,
That's
fuck this
absolutely
guy. I'm
cool.
never rolling it again. It's terrible.
I rolled another fucking 9, so 11.
Les rolled a 6. So, yeah, 100%. He wants to just get this shit over with. He heard the words victory pit and went, "Those are 2 of my favorite words." Yeah. So,
Yeah, Jules is just gonna give him a knowing look.
This is ticking all the boxes in my head right now.
Ding ding ding.
You're not fooling anybody, Les. We all know what you want.
Look,
And
it's
I look to
victory.
Gilda. I look to Gilda. I'm like, once we're done with the assembly, did any of that interest you? Shopping spree, blood and gore.
Blood and horror, gore
That one.
galore.
And you can see
The
that
blood and gore.
she gets pretty excited at the fact that she hasn't really seen any action in the last little while. She's very much excited at just the thought of seeing something attack something else.
I do suppose you have been cooped up in rooms and wagons for far too long.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Murderous child.
I mean, I appreciate that you're keeping me safe and everything, and obviously, I want to make sure that I get to Rexentrum with all my with my arm still intact. But
Forgot about that.
Who do you want to see get their teeth kicked in? Phelan or Galahad?
Well, Galahad doesn't have
Hey.
teeth, so Phelan, I guess.
Hey,
Well, you heard
What the
her,
heck?
Phelan. We're entering you into the pit.
Warforged is the
mean-
greatest race of all time.
Cantrip
Damn.
Cast, thank you for the raid.
Thank you for the
20
raid.
Hello,
Appreciate
everybody.
it.
Yo.
Welcome in, guys. We are just
Welcome
with
to
the
the
group
party.
entering into Zadash. So,
the dashy dash.
A dash.
alrighty. So you guys have got a bunch of options as to what it is you want to do. You've got the Penta Market that's basically right in front of you if you wanted to start browsing a couple of wares. You've obviously got a lot of different places to get fresh food and fresh meat. Les is starting to kind of make his way off very quickly and try to find a raw fish stall that he can find. And there are definitely quite a few of them as you're getting a little bit closer towards the Menagerie Coast, and he just starts dropping coin after coin on like 12 different kinds of fish, and then literally just biting into them one after another.
Okay.
Bro, somebody needs to. We need to get him an accountant, a personal financer, or something.
Can we just get to
It's
the
just funny
assembly?
money. It doesn't even count for anything, really.
Do you think if he eats a pufferfish, he'll get poisoned?
Ooh.
And he's like halfway through.
Fascinating.
I love her. Gives me tingles in my mouth.
One of these days, I'm gonna slip a sleep medication into his food, and he's never gonna know.
Put his ass to sleep like NyQuil.
Bitch be calling me NyQuil. So Les is off kind of doing his own thing, but he just kind of like takes long enough to rip a bit of a fish out of his mouth and just
Look, if you want to go and talk to somebody that's up in the Penta Market, it's not exactly hard. Just let me know.
whoa. All of our cameras just got really messed up. We
What
lost
happened
Moose.
there?
We lost Moose.
Oh
Hang on. Give me a sec. Sorry guys. 1 second.
I'm Phelan now. I'm sneaky and sexy.
And
I flash a smile, and every lock in the room just falls open.
sounds about right. Alright, let's get. Hang on. This is correct. This is correct. And that's correct. And rename. Alright. Now we're in our correct spots. Okay. When Moose gets back, we will bring him back in. But yeah, so Les just kind of saying to you guys,
I've got a way that I can do all this. It's not exactly hard for me. I just, I need to be able to, just flash my little badge.
and you can see that he pulls out a badge that none of you have actually seen before, but it is a badge of the Cerberus Assembly.
So as long as I talk to somebody who recognizes what this is, I'm sure we'll be able to let into that really nice area, and I can go swimming in that big-ass pool.
Swimming,
Alright.
fish, fighting. What a simple creature.
It's the good life.
He's just tucking into
Maybe
his
you
fish
can
again.
go and sort us out with a meeting with the assembly. I'll buy you more fish.
Deal.
And he just kind of grabs the fish and like grabs his thing and goes in and just kind of starts to take a step forward, and then it's just like,
Wait. Where am I supposed to go? Guy told us to go to the barracks, right?
Yeah, guard barracks. They can point you to someone in the assembly you talk to, and then from there, you organize a meeting.
I can do that.
Barracks assembly meeting,
I can do that. I can do that.
and then fish.
and he like starts to
I'm
walk off in
gonna
a
go
direction,
with-
and then like turns around and goes,
Where's barracks?
Jules is just gonna just gonna pat her hand on his shoulder and just like walk in the direction.
okay. All right, so you guys just kind of like start to make your way off a little bit and just kind of like, maybe it's here, maybe it's there. But the two of you do see that there are quite a few Crowns Guard that are in and around the area. So it wouldn't exactly be hard to find somebody that you would be able to ask that question of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jules will just walk up to whatever guard and just be like, which way to the barracks?
And he just kind of looks down.
Oh, hello. Just a little bit down that way over there. You're going to turn a left and then turn a right. You should be able to see the Crown Guard sigil right up front.
Thank you so much. And
Happy to
Jules will
help.
make her way towards it.
And just kind of goes back to his conversation. Okay, so you and Les are going to be heading there towards the barracks. Margot, what do you want to do?
At this point, I'm going full mother hen mode, and I'm like, Gilda, you wanna go watch people get punted in the face? Like.
And you see somehow she's just got like a little drink that she seems to have gotten out of nowhere, but it's like in like a little cup, and she's
Is that
just kind of like
alcoholic?
sipping on it.
Let me smell that. Give that to me.
Oh my god.
And she like turns away a little bit.
Gilda, give me your car keys.
And then you can see like you can see the cheeks starting to go a little rosy, and then you like sniff it, and it's not like alcoholic. It's kind of like a very light sangria probably, but it's definitely something that is very tasty. Clearly, she's very interested in it, but is probably just like a little bit more than what she should be having at 12 years old.
So I can I reach to grab it? I wanna like.
Oh yeah, easily enough. You just kind of reach down and palm her hand holding the cup, and she just kind of like looks really sad and lets it go.
And I'm like, if you want something like this, we can definitely go find you something non-alcoholic, but I'm not gonna have you drunk and fighting a crowd in the middle of pits. Next thing I know, you're gonna be in the center throwing bombs at somebody's face.
That's Les Paul's job.
I mean, I do make a really
No,
good
don't
bomb.
get you any ideas.
Okay.
No more bomb making.
And she just kind of like shrinks down a little bit and just kind of.
Okay, well, we should find somewhere to put the caravan, though, shouldn't we? Do we maybe want to find, like, a place to rest for the night so we don't have to carry this around with us the whole time?
I suppose that would be very smart. And while she's not looking, I look to see if I see any fruit punch stalls. Like, does this girl want Hawaiian Sea, orange lava burst? Like, what does this girl want?
Yeah, you find that
Does
there
this girl want a virgin pina colada?
Make a check for a boost juice bar.
Go ahead and just actually go and make a.
Is there a Jamba Juice nearby? Perhaps a Smoothie King?
Make a perception or investigation check, your choice.
All right.
Can anyone sell me a smoothie?
Oh, that's actually 15.
Oh, awesome. So looking around, you are able to see a couple of places that are making assorted different drinks, and as you kind of are passing by them, holding Gilda's hand as you're making your way through, she looks like she probably didn't have too much of that drink, but was just like very happy with the taste of it. So it's not like it's affecting her in any way, really. And you're definitely like looking, that's alcoholic, that's alcoholic, that's alcoholic. And then you see that there are two on the other side that they're kind of in the middle of muddling up mixtures, and you can see them starting to grab alcohol, and you kind of just go over and quickly pop your hand on it and just kind of, and she just looks up and is looking at all these fresh fruits of like apples and pineapples and bits of fresh strawberries all being muddled in massive stone bowls with fresh mint.
I slap 2 gold pieces down on the counter. I'm like, make the fanciest non-alcoholic drink that a child could want.
All right, we can definitely make that for you. Just give me a second here. It'll probably take you about, what do you think, 30 seconds or so? Yeah? Okay, 30 seconds or so.
Behind them
let me
both,
give you
I
some
just
change.
Oh, you just kind of put up another one there, and just
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry. I don't know why you put down 2 gold. It's just 2 silver per drink.
No, just make it the fanciest thing that could ever be on the taste buds of a child.
Oh,
It's a tip.
Margaret's such a good mom.
all right. We can definitely do that for you. Just give us a minute. Let's see if what kind of container we can scramble up for you. And so you see them kind of like going through a couple of different barrels and like end up finding like a pretty small but nice little piece that could be held by Gilda, kind of awkwardly, 2 hands underneath it kind of thing, but be able to use it as like a big smoothie cup. Yeah, exactly. Think of it like a kid's. I know you guys probably don't have this. There's a place here that does. It's a Mexican restaurant that does what are called buckets, and they'd use sandcastle buckets that kids make sandcastles with and fill them with drinks.
Oh my god!
And yeah, so they essentially create.
No, we have a thing called fish bowls here in the U.S.
Yeah, so fish bowls are here too, but they're big glasses. These are literally in plastic buckets. So this is kind of closer
Australia,
to
we have it at clubs.
Yeah, there you
and
go.
They are called.
And they're called buckets, yeah. So this place, the stall that you go up to is able to find like a bucket for Gilda and like fill it with this amazing mixture of strawberry and pineapple and a little bit of mint thrown in there. Topped it off with some non-alcoholic cider, so it's got a little bit of a bubbly aspect to it. And she just kind of sticks a big straw into it and just like sucks a good, maybe 2 cups of it just back immediately because it's just so tasty. And then they end up letting her just kind of waddle off with this gigantic thing with a straw sticking out the side of it.
I'm never gonna forget these memories, and I start like chasing after her. I love her so much.
It's really great.
Stop hurting me with your love, though.
Well, get used to it, because I'm only gonna get worse from here.
Oh my god.
Jordy proving to Haley one day at a time what it's like to be an awesome mom.
Do I get an extra long straw?
Sure. We'll say that you get an extra long little bendy straw made out of a bamboo reed or something.
Nice.
Alrighty. So
Just
you
like above everyone else's head, you just hear. Like, what the?
and then you just and then you hit like a chunk of pineapple that acts like a boba berry or a boba piece that gets stuck in the straw, and you just lift it up and shoot it off into the
Hit
crowd.
somebody in the back of the head.
Exactly, and then just stick the straw back in the cart and just kind of walk away. All right.
I'm too conspicuous to be conspicuous right now. That's how it works.
Exactly.
When you're so out of place, you're in place.
8-foot tall metal man, just vibing.
I mean, what is it? When you go to Disneyland, you're the weird one if you're not wearing Mickey Mouse ears. Right? Same idea.
Yeah.
All right. So
Exactly.
with you guys able to find that for Gilda, Jules, you and Les are able to make your way through, find the guard barracks pretty easily. It's a pretty dominating structure in the area where it is, along the eastern side of the interior side of the city. And you're able to make your way up to the front. A couple of guards milling out around front, and Les just kind of, all right, I got this. Excuse me. And he like holds up his guard badge from within Hupperduke. I would like to speak to the Cerberus Assembly, please. That's how this works, right?
Jules is just gonna take his hand, just like, and then take the cube from him, and give him a soft like there smile, and look back at the guards and say, we seek an audience with the Cerberus Assembly. We found this cube. I'm just going to explain what happened because I don't have the mental capacity to do it this second.
Okay, so you essentially, you explain the fact that you found something that you are, and Les kind of interjects a little bit, and I'm a member of the Cerberus Assembly, as a matter of fact, and I just need to speak to some of the people here about making sure that I can go home. And they just kind of like look very oddly at the two of you, like you, Jules, Tiefling, pretty common. Triton on land this far in, definitely not the most normal thing. So I'll have you go ahead and make a persuasion check at advantage.
Cool.
Because Les is helping.
Les is helping.
I got a 19 plus 5, so 24.
24, okay. Yeah, so easy enough. They just kind of like are realizing like, oh god, what do these people want? Oh god, tourists want our help. Cerberus Assembly, we can pawn this off on somebody else. Yeah, no issues whatsoever. It'll be fine. We'll be able to get you an audience with the Cerberus Assembly. Just hold on a minute. And they kind of lead you inside, and you end up getting brought off to a smaller side room. A little bit of a crowd of people waiting for things to happen. You can hear some people getting a little bit upset of, my son was arrested earlier and he didn't steal anything. He's the nicest boy. Right? Like those kind of people in the crowd. And the guards dealing with it in the way that they do. And eventually a bunch of people are shuffled out of the way, and you're led into a side chamber with kind of a more senior looking individual, an older person, maybe in their late 40s or so, looks to be maybe half-elf. And I just kind of sit down at the table and just, so I'm to understand that you're looking to speak to somebody within the assembly today.
Yes, that's our goal.
Right. The assembly doesn't really tend to take too much time out of the Tri Spires. Obviously, whatever it is that you're looking to speak to them about is something that I assume is quite pressing.
Moderately, I would say.
Very moderate.
All right. Is there a specific person that you're looking to speak to within the assembly? Anybody that you know within the Tri Spire?
What was their name? The wizard, Lutinous?
Ludinus, yeah.
Lutinous. What's their full name?
The Martinet is their title, and then Ludinus Deleth.
Okay. If at all possible, I would very much like to speak with the Martiness, Bootness Deleth.
Deleth. Yeah. And you see it, the mention of that name kind of just like going through the motions, filling out the paperwork. You can see there's a form that they're starting to fill out, and they start to write like the first couple of letters, and then you say the full name, and they just look up at you through their eyebrows.
Can I roll an insight check?
Go for it. What are you looking for specifically?
Just like... sorry, I'm trying to describe it.
Yeah, it's all good. Take your time.
Whether or not there's any malice behind it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go for it.
That's a 6.
6? Yeah.
We could be staring daggers at you, and you would just think that they're about ready to give you flowers.
Yeah, the gaze itself doesn't give much away in terms of emotion, but it's more so the recognition and the hesitation as you mention that name that kind of look up at you and then just... and like a bit of a deep breath out, and then just keep writing the name down, and you can see that like the handwriting starts to get a little bit better in comparison to what it was before. It was kind of a little on the chicken scratch side. Now it's definitely starting to get a little more clear and a little more clean, and you realize they're like halfway through writing the form, and then they kind of just come to a point and right, so, and they pull out an identical blank form and restart the whole thing with very, very clear, clean writing on this one, and start to dive into a bunch of questions. So, what is it that you're looking to speak to the Martinet about, specifically?
This cube here that we found, and I just explained the situation.
Okay, so, but you guys don't have the box.
Have the box, right?
So what is it that you're looking to... Because the whole thing is that you're looking to talk to them about the box that you guys found that Phelan has in the bag of holding.
Yes, that's right. Completely forgot about that. I just explained the situation and be like, I don't have it on me right now. The rest of the party has it.
Okay.
Keeping it in numbers, blah, 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 blah. Strategy so it doesn't get stolen.
So are you explaining what happened with like the Cuillin attack and like going through the whole thing?
I'll start very vague. Like, not all the details are there. The Cuillin attack isn't really there. Just like the fact that it blew up is definitely there, and that we didn't know what to do.
Caravan blew up, and you found this after it blew up?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And so you can see the kind of writing the story down, you know, where were you? We were outside the Labenda swamp, closing in on Berlaben, blah, blah, blah. Okay. All right. So this is the situation here. And why do you believe this needs to be brought to the attention of the Cerberus Assembly?
There were signs that there may have been Kryn there, which was rather concerning being so close inwards.
Kryn? Near Berlaben?
They'll explain the rest of the story now.
And you can see the eyes, like, where previously it was, you know, again, ink and quill on paper, writing everything down, being very thorough about the notes, start to just kind of sit back in their chair and just arch their fingers a little bit.
Red flag.
Right. That is quite the tale.
Can I roll an insight check on that statement exactly?
Sure.
To see if there's malice behind it specifically.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 10 plus 2, 12.
12? Tough to read. They're not really giving you a ton in terms of emotional response. It's more taking the time and understanding exactly what the situation is that you're telling them, exactly how things are going to be progressing with that, and then wherein are you actually going to be allowed to complete the task that you're telling them that you need to complete. So kind of leaning back.
Can you rephrase that?
Yeah, so essentially like less about like essentially just interested in the story that you're telling and how this is actually going to give you an audience with the assembly, right?
Okay,
what is it going to do to actually warrant that? Also, thank you, Shattered Tabletop Games, for the raid. Appreciate you guys. 12 more of you coming in.
What's up?
Yeah, we are in the middle of a journey into Zadash in the Wildmount campaign. But so Jules, you and Les just kind of sitting down, and Les having been like pretty quiet so far, just kind of is,
I'm getting tired of this. I need to speak to somebody at the assembly right away. This is my badge saying that I am a member of the assembly. It says initiate right here, but I am still a member of the assembly, and I just need to talk to somebody up higher than that.
And you can see that the Crownsguard individual looking a little bit more on the, well-informed, well-educated side, just kind of sloughs off a little bit of Les's remarks, but does continue writing down the documentation of exactly what had transpired, the attack by the Kryn, finding the box, needing to see exactly what it's for, and then... Right, and you said specifically there is no certain individual that you are attempting to contact within the Tri Spires, correct? The Martinet is not somebody who resides within Zadash. So you asking to speak to them would indicate that you would actually be wanting to go to Rexentrum.
That's where we're going, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, that's where you're going, which is about a 10 days travel away from here.
We're making our way there currently, actually.
Right. And you can see the papers kind of get shuffled up into a bunch and kind of clap down on the table once. And I'm going to be quite honest. If you're looking to speak to the Martinet in Rexentrum, this isn't something that can get done here in a day. We would approach the assembly, let them know that somebody wishes to speak to them. They would have to send a messenger out to Rexentrum, wait for a response from the Lieutenant, or the Martinet, I should say. And once the response was had...
Sorry to cut you short, but I am not particularly interested in that route. If there is anyone here within the city that we could speak to within today or tomorrow, that would be preferable. I'm not choosy, quite frankly.
Your story is quite worrisome. Kryn attacks within our borders are not something that are taken lightly, especially this close to my city. My understanding from what your story was is that whatever this caravan was left from my walls. It was with my guards in there. And you're saying that all those guards are now dead. Whatever this box is the one remaining piece of that caravan. I can say that you are not alone in wanting to get some answers from the assembly. Without the box, I'm not sure exactly what I can do to convince them, but I will see if I can get some kind of an audience for you, perhaps in the morning.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for bringing this to my attention. My understanding was that this caravan was simply transporting weapons and heading up to Huppadook to have them be deployed to the Crownsguard soldiers there. Having it be waylaid by Kryn soldiers, that is not something that was in its plan.
Rather foreboding, isn't it?
Just a tad. I don't really know much more that I can say than that for the time being. What I can say is, if you come back again tomorrow morning, ask to speak to me. My name is Rayleigh. I will see what I can do to gain you an audience. Perhaps not within the Tri Spires themselves, but maybe I can convince one of the assembly members to step out from within their ivory tower and take a meeting in our area.
Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it, Rayleigh.
You're welcome. And what was your name again?
Jules Hendricks.
Jules Hendricks. And you?
Les Paul of the Triton race.
And Les Paul. Very well. I shall see the two of you tomorrow morning then. I would say come before first watch has changed. If this is as dire as you say it is, I'm going to want to have this looked into right away.
Thank you.
Have a good evening. And they kind of just
You as
get
well.
up from the chair and gesture towards the door.
Yeah, Jules will make her way out.
Okay. And they close the door behind you, and you can see, like, Les kind of looks back, and you might just look over your shoulder a little bit, and you can see them kind of lean over the table and, like, palms onto the table, lean over and kind of hang their head a little bit. And then stand up straight. And then start to make their way out from within the room that you were conducting that little interview, per se. And start to talk to a couple of Grounds Guard, and you see a few of them kind of go wide-eyed a little bit and look over at you both as you start to leave.
Jules will give like a soft but like, yeah, we saw that smile, and then keep going.
Okay. All right, so you guys kind of pushing your way back out into the center of town. Galahad, Margot, you guys will say are with Phelan, since unfortunately Moose looks like he was his internet might have been cut off. Yeah, so for you guys making your way with Gilda, did you want to make your way towards the victory pit? Did you want to try and find any items that might be worth interest of some kind to buy or barter for? What do you guys want to do?
I wouldn't mind checking out maybe like a magic item or an armor shop.
Yeah.
Anywhere that might sell potions, those kind of tend to be...
Actually, I was just thinking I don't have any potions, and after the whole ooze thing, I probably should get some of those too.
kind of important, yeah.
Okay. Alrighty, so you guys pushing your way in through the city and towards the Penta Market, you start to check out a couple of the stalls, and you see people standing at the edges of their stalls, pushing these wares into your faces of these gorgeous, brilliant gold orbs with gems encrusted in them, and
Oh, lady, this will give you forever or an infinite youth. It will give you an unending supply of years for you to pull from, so that a wrinkle will never crease that lovely face. And you, a big metal man,
and like somebody else comes over and just kind of, oh, you're looking for a big new piece of armor to complement that on there. Here, grab this one. And he kind of like shoves a shield into your arm, and it's just like this tiny little buckler shield for you, but for anybody else, it would be like a moderately sized shield. And you can see them kind of hawking their wares a little bit. You guys getting a look around, you're pretty well in tune with like what good quality magical items look like. These tend to look like things that are probably made on the cheap. Like that gold orb is probably hollow and those gems are painted glass, like those kind of things. But you start to ask around a little bit, see if there's anybody selling potions, and you can see that the gaze kind of drops a little from both of them, and then
so you're real adventurers then, aren't you? Right.
Real as they get.
Yeah. You're gonna want to head over there. A little place called the Invulnerable Vagrant.
Thanks.
Yeah. He might be the only one who's actually selling any kind of potions. Goddamn military's taking everything off our stocks these days.
So they kind of gesture vaguely over into an area within Zadash that's kind of just near where the Penta Market would be, but it's a much more well-kept shop. You see a big sign standing outside the front that says the Invulnerable Vagrant, and kind of bluish teal painted walls, blacked out windows with very nice brass fittings, a large door with a knocker on it, and the door seems to be closed. And a lot of people seem to be walking by the area, but nobody really tends to be going in and out of the shop too often right now.
I'll lean down and on the door.
Alrighty. So knocker on the door and just, I'll be there in a second. Just give me a second to come to the door.
Goofy?
Gorge.
Kind of wait a couple of seconds, and then an individual comes towards the door, and you see this big kind of, not hefty, but like kind of heavy set furbolg, brighter blue skin, kind of larger ears that kind of stick out to the side a little bit, dressed in a long green and gold smock. Just, oh, come on in. Here to see the Invulnerable Vagrant.
It's Pumatso.
I have to give Matt Mercer one. I mean, Pumat Soul is amazing, and he's inherently Canadian.
Works perfectly.
Yeah. Whoa.
I totally get this reference.
Campaign 2, Critical Role.
Campaign 2, baby.
I watch campaigns. Anyway, so you guys push your way inside, and you see the inside of the shop is relatively sparse, but there are a lot of different sections of all kinds of different things. You see very interesting little potion vials, a couple of them set into racks of all different sizes and styles, some in kind of large glass globules, others in almost goblet-style form with a glass top. That fully seals everything inside, some in traditional vials that are just racked off. You do see a couple of pieces adorning the walls, like strangely enough, a very large wheel with 5 spokes is just stuck onto a wall, but it's got gears kind of on the outside of that. In a couple of other areas, you see interesting collections of sheets and pillowcases and things, different styles of clothing, and as you make your way in, this large individual kind of leaning towards the back. So, what can I do for you? And you kind of look over at him and you look past and you see that there is an identical carbon copy of this same person standing behind the counter.
Whoa, twins.
Oh. Well, I am Enchanter Pumat Soul, and this here is Enchanter Pumat Soul, and that one over there, and he gestures over to another individual stocking shelves further down. I am Enchanter Pumat Soul. Welcome to the Invulnerable Vagrant.
Nice.
Nice to meet you 3. Potions?
Oh, potions. And then he I can show you where, and then another one coming from the corner goes, I got it, don't worry.
Wait, is that the third or fourth one? I lost count.
That's the third one at the moment.
Okay.
So you kind of say to the first one that walked you in, of like, oh, potions. And he's like, oh, I can get those. And then the third one that's over on the far side, oh, I got it already. And he kind of grabs a little rack of potion vials and kind of brings them up towards the front. So, in terms of potions, what is it you're looking to buy? Is it just your standard healing potions, or you're looking for something a little more interesting?
When you say interesting, what do you mean?
Well, we've got a few here that restore, obviously, your vitality, make you feel a little bit better, your health potions. We've also got some here that we've been working on for quite some time that restore your magical ability. It gives you the ability to cast a few more spells than you would normally be able to do in a day. We've got a couple of other ones over there that are a special batch, single one-offs testing to see what new things are going to be.
Well, I know I need healing.
Oh, okay.
So, we'll start there. And then I just get triggered flashbacks to the toxic ooze. I just whisper "damn jewels" underneath my breath.
Alrighty. So just kind of like pulls up this little vial or this rack of potions with standard healing potions, then a couple of on the larger side. Now here we've got your standard healing potions. Right now I've got 4 of those ones in stock that you'd be able to buy at 50 gold apiece. We've also got some larger ones here if you're maybe looking for something a little bit more adept at getting you healed. Those ones are double the price at 100 gold a pop.
I don't suppose there's a discount for official businessmen?
Official businessmen in what way?
I look at Galahad, realizing I may have walked myself into a trap considering I'm not good at the socializing aspect.
Galahad is definitely looking at some potion that's doing some funky shit inside the bottle.
Galahad, hey, leave the lava lamp alone.
The lava? What? What's happening?
I take my badge and I put it on. I'm like, Rexcentrum, we're heading to Rexcentrum to deliver. And I look over at, what is Gilda doing right now?
Gilda's just kind of wandering around and like looking at all the different things and like kind of, you can see her like take like a little ball out of a top area there, and one of the Pumats kind of comes over very rushedly and just kind of, oh no, careful, make sure you don't touch that for too long, and he pops it back onto the thing right as a series of spikes pop out of the center of the ball and then shrink back into it again. She just kind of,
whoa.
I smile to myself and I say,
Margot, I want that.
No, you want...
Margot, I want that.
How much is the spiky... How much is the spiky ball thing?
And you can see, like, this kind of large, imposing Furbolg figure looks down at this tiny little human girl, and it's just... Are you sure that you want to be giving that to such a young creature?
She can already build explosives. At this point, it's better to just know what she can do.
She can build explosives.
She has an explosive personality. She gets it from her mother.
Roll a deception check for me.
That's a nat 20! That's a nat 20! Fuck yeah!
I'm not very good at the social thing.
But I am good at covering for my daughter.
You are.
Except I destroyed her pillow fort 2 times, but we're gonna move on.
And she stabbed you 2 times. It's fair.
She did. She
did.
Really did.
She did.
We're all about payback.
So with that, you kind of just like, no, explosive personality. It's fine. Just kind of, oh. Okay, I understand. All right. Well, I mean, it's something that is definitely not a toy for young children. But you can see here, and he lifts it up, and he kind of flips it over, and you can see that there is a button on the bottom of it, and he just kind of pushes that button. Just make sure that that's depressed, and then you can hold on to it as much as you like. You push that once, and it ends up popping out, then it ends up becoming a spike ball in a matter of seconds. He kind of hands it over to Gilda, and Gilda just starts turning it over in her hand and, like, pushing the button. And then quickly pushes the button again to make sure that it doesn't become a spike ball. And it's just like testing the limits of how far she can get with it. And he's just kind of, every time, he just kind of, whoa, like reaching out to try and stop this from happening. But she seems to be doing pretty well.
Okay, yeah, we'll take that too. But, potions,
official business.
Yeah. Official business, yes. Delivering precious cargo, very precious to me. That's the cargo.
I understand that is business, but what about it makes it official business?
And I slowly, like, pull out the Rex Centrum badge, and I put it on the table, and I'm like, I'm undercover.
Oh. Member of the Crown's Guard, are you?
Yes, very prestigious. I worked very hard for that.
Well, you'll have to go through official channels and get a work order placed and ensure that the shipments are going to be delivered into the correct areas. I'm sure as a
I
member
whisper
of
under
the
my breath
Crown's
to
Guard,
myself, this is why I don't go out in public.
I'm sure as a member of the Crown's Guard, you would absolutely understand due process.
Oh, absolutely. Government cannot be corrupt in any way, shape, or form. Mm-hmm. How much for the spiky ball?
The ball is more of a self-defense toy than anything. I'd let it go for 20 gold.
And the potion?
Well, the healing potions are 50 gold.
Oh, right. Yes. Galahad, are you still staring at the lava lamp?
I'm watching you flounder socially with an extraordinarily amused look on my face.
So I will say one of the things that you are actually looking at, Galahad, and I can pull this up here. Give me 1 second.
I am so socially adept. I can't possibly make any mistakes whatsoever.
I am the most socially adept.
I took the social adept feat, thank you very much.
I am I'm so well thought out and prepared.
Social.
Okay.
I truly should be made a pariah of the public.
So, Galahad, what you're looking at specifically actually is fairly close to a lava lamp, what we would consider one. White and black liquid fills this vial. alternating between the colors, but never mixing as the container is turned over. And you can see
Cool.
one of the Pumats kind of pops around a corner and, you're looking up there at the Potion of Consequence. That one is a custom design of my own creation. Would you like to know what it does?
What's the consequences of the actions?
Well, it's you understanding the consequences of your own actions. Allow me to explain. And he kind of gestures over, and then suddenly you realize there's a fourth one around the corner. They're just kind of, I got this one. So the Potion of Consequence, and he pulls it down, and there's now 4 of these large furbolgs that are inside the shop that are talking, all kind of waiting for the other one to finish talking and then continuing the thought. So the Potion of Consequence is something that makes you very good for a very short amount of time. And then you deal with the consequences of your actions. When you drink it, you get really strong and very hardy and fast for a little while. You get to move quicker, and you get to hit a little bit harder. But after that short period of time, for a much longer time, you feel exhausted. You can barely move your hands, your punches, anything that you seem to be hitting with doesn't seem to do all that much.
Well, if history's anything to go by, our party doesn't really do too well with the consequences, so I might give that one a miss. Now, you said 50 gold for the standard healing potions and double that for the next tier up?
Yeah, 50 gold for a standard healing, 100 for the larger ones. Essentially, you're just buying double the volume, so no differences there. And then these other ones here, these are what we call mana potions. And mana potions are something that allow you to gain some of your magical casting ability back. These ones are a creation of my own design. And the way that they work, you drink them, and as long as you are a prominent spellcaster, you should be able to get back a spell that normally you wouldn't be able to cast that day for any reason. Sometimes they end up making your brain a little fuzzy. You start to, hurt a little bit, gives you a bit of a headache, but regardless, you'll get your potion and you'll get your spell.
And how much do you charge for those?
Those ones are kind of right in the middle there. Because they are magical and more than simply just some herbs going into a potion, they are a 75 gold each.
Right.
So we've got 4 of the little ones, 1 of the big one, and then 2 of these mana potions.
I'm going to put down 175 and take one of the mana and the largest health potion.
Alright, pleasure doing business. And he hands over one of the mana potions and the greater healing potion. What about for yourself there, my big man? I mean, it's not often somebody comes in and is any taller than me, but you seem to do that quite nicely.
Yeah. Different view, I suppose. I'll definitely take all 4 of the standard health potions.
All
Just thinking
4?
what else?
Wow. All right.
It's not just for me, but I feel like we get into enough trouble to warrant a little extra, just in case.
Understood.
In fact, I'll also take that other mana potion. I think Jules might get some use out of that.
I don't know what a Jules is, but I'm sure they'll get some useful out of it.
Outside of potions, any other interesting items you have?
Well, we've got some stuff that we just finished up. Give me a second here. And he kind of ducks back into the back. Hey, Pumat Prime! And you hear a, yeah? Coming in from the back hall. And then an individual walks out in a very similar smock, but a much larger, heavy, oh shoot, what the hell's it called? Like a carpenter's apron. So like very, very heavy, thick leather, big set of goggles over the eyes. You can see some of the smoke kind of clearing around the face. Again, an identical copy of the other individuals that are within the establishment. But this one coming out with these big, heavy carpenter's gloves that he's pulling off. Oh, yes, well, what can I do for you? Oh, hello, Pumat 3. What's going on? Oh, we have customers. I should have cleaned myself up. And he kind of just gestures towards himself, and you can see all the soot that is around his eyes just slowly starts to fade away a little bit, and the smoke clears itself off. Alrighty, so, what is it you're looking for? And then the other Pumat turns back and, well, they're looking to see if we have any new items that are in stock. Well, we certainly do. Let me grab some of those out of the back. Can you, Pumat? I gotcha. And he kind of gestures over to another one, and they all congregate around the back and pull out a couple of different things. Well, I'll allow my assistants here to come up and show you some of my wares. And so this here, we've got a set of bracers of defense. So these are magically charged bracers. Make you a little bit more hardy, make you a little bit tougher to hit. You can put your arms up and be able to tank some blows a little bit easier. Those ones are on the expensive side. You're looking at about 5,000 gold pieces for those ones. Beyond that, the potions are usually the most common thing. Unfortunately, a lot of our more interesting items get taken by the Crown's Guard and the military pretty often. But we do have one here which is kind of snuck under the radar. It's a weapon that we refer to, or not a weapon I should say. Weapons are not exactly something we tend to sell too often in this shop. But it's a little ring here, and he takes it, and it's a kind of an interesting looking ring. You see it's a brilliant silver ring. And it almost has depictions on the ring of beasts laying slain with a champion kind of standing with a sword raised, kind of along the outside of the ring. And this one here is, well, it's a little bit for the foolhardy. Not exactly the smartest of individuals tend to wear this ring, but it does have some pretty potent abilities. Makes it so that anytime you take a rest, you heal your wounds, you get yourself feeling better after a long day of adventuring, you don't have to guess at how much you're gonna heal. You just heal the maximum. It's also got another thing where you can use the ring and decide to make yourself a little bit more vulnerable, but make yourself able to hit things a little bit easier. You can attack in a reckless manner, swinging your weapons wildly, and it allows you to do that on your turn. So essentially what the ring does, I'll send it to you guys, while you are wearing and attuned to the ring, you regain the maximum number of hit points possible from any source of healing. So if somebody uses a healing spell, healing potion, you gain the maximum number of hit points. In addition, when you make your first melee weapon attack on your turn, you can decide to attack recklessly. Doing so gives you advantage on melee weapon attack rolls using strength during your turn, but attack rolls against you have advantage until the start of your next turn. So it's essentially taking the reckless ability from the barbarian and putting it onto a ring while giving you maximum healing anytime you're healed by any source.
And how much is that going for?
This ring is, it's quite an interesting one. It's a little bit less unique, or sorry, a little bit more unique, less just commonly able to be used by different people than these bracers would be. So the ring I would put in at about 2,500 gold pieces. Or 250 platinum, if that's what you prefer.
Alright.
They've been in stock for not that long. I only just finished making that set of bracers earlier today. There's a chance that they might go pretty quick, but I understand it is a lot of money, so we want to make sure that you're not buying something without abandon.
Fair enough. I don't exactly have the gold to front that by myself. I think that Les Paul might be interested in it, but not sure. What do you think, Margot?
The healing sounds really nice, but and I look at my hands and I'm like, if somebody were to punch me in the gut, I don't know if I would be able to handle that. So the whole advantage on attack rolls against me, it was just like, it doesn't interest me. So,
Well, that's for melee stuff, but yeah.
But I'm I mean, even the
somebody...
healing, I wouldn't risk it personally.
Well, in your case, the bracers might be something that you end up wanting a little bit more. These ones make it so that I'm assuming, the way that you are and the way that you're dressed, I'm guessing, as you said, you're not really somebody who uses weapons all that much. If you don't wear armor either, these ones make you a lot harder to hit. They give you a plus. The bracers of defense give you a +2 to your AC if you wear no armor and wear no shield.
I'm blowing. I'm
Like I said-
blowing money.
Like I said, these are things that are probably going to be here for at least a little while. The ring doesn't seem to have too many takers lately. I think, like
What was the ring called?
So the ring is a custom weapon for me. It's called the Ring of the Champion. I'll send you guys an image of it after I created that one.
Okay, hold on. Do you the defense one?
Yeah,
Do you
bracers
have
of
that?
defense.
Yeah, do you have that?
Yep.
Like, sheet made up.
Hang on. Yeah, I'll send you guys these right now. Just give me a sec.
Remind me again how much, just so that way I can be like.
So the bracers are 5,000 gold,
5,000 gold.
and the
And
ring
the ring
is
of the
2,500.
champion.
So there's the bracers, and the ring of the champion.
You know, if I was a richer dragon.
Like you used to be. And there is the ring of the champion.
I could have had it all.
I'll definitely take all the potions, thank you.
Absolutely. Well, that'll clear out my stock, and I'll make sure that we get one of my Pumats over there, and the other one kind of catches up to make more of them tomorrow. So you've got 4 standard potions of healing, and then 1 mana potion, and I'll send you guys the card for mana potions.
275 gold. Thank you very much.
Pleasure doing business with you. Pumats, I'll leave the store to you. And they go, okay, bye, Prime. And like all 4 of them in unison say bye, Prime. And he makes his way to the back. You can see him pulling on those heavy leather gloves again.
Being trapped in an echo chamber.
Well, you're not the first one to say that. All right,
What, all 5 of you? I'm sure you make a lovely chorus. Have you ever thought of a cappella groups?
Acapella? Oh, you can hear them kind of harmonize a little bit.
That's pretty good.
Oops. Sorry, one sec.
Think Jules will like this mana potion. She seems to be pretty conservative with her spells, so maybe this will help out.
Tuck it into my jacket.
There you go. So yeah, so for those of you in chat, mana potions are something that I think I had taken a couple of little bits and pieces from different places online, but mana potions are one that I found is a much better alternative to health potions for casters, because obviously there is a limitation on the number of spells. The way that mana potions work is, as an action, you may drink the liquid yourself or feed it to a willing creature. When you drink the potion, you declare a spell slot between 1 and 3 that you wish to regain. So first level, second, or third level spell slot, and you roll a d4. If the result that you roll is equal to or higher than the slot level you announced, the spell is regained. You just get it back instantly. If it's lower, so if, for instance, you say you want a third level spell, but you roll a 1, you take X d8 psychic damage, where X is the level of the spell slot regained. So if you declare a third level spell and you roll a 1 on the d4, you take 3d8 points of psychic damage, but you still get the spell slot back. So you get it either way. It's a matter of, do you roll high
Is this
enough?
FDA approved? I feel like we might need FDA approval.
This is definitively federal Dungeon Master approved.
FDA
FDMA.
approved.
FDMA approved.
Okay.
We do need to be careful with these because I have seen player characters be knocked unconscious due to taking them, so
I'm gonna be
let's
so
not
helpful.
overdose on potions, please.
Well, with those ones clearing out the rest of the stock of my potion, you said you don't really have much of an interest in that potion of consequence. You're always welcome to come back any time as patrons of the invulnerable vagrant and ask for me, Enchanter Pumat's soul.
Just for future reference, how much was that potion of consequence going for?
The potion of consequence is one that's a little on the more interesting side. You'd be looking at 750 gold pieces for that one. And I'll send you guys what that one does, but for everybody in chat, where was the potion of consequence?
Can I see if Gilda's still entranced with this toy or not? Like, is she still, like, very much like, I want this, or is she kind of over after playing with it for a little bit?
Oh, sorry, one sec.
I feel like Gilda's the type of gifted burnout kid to hyperfixate on a toy for 20 minutes and then get tired of it.
Hey, don't call me out like that.
No, that's a call out on me. That's a call out on me. You just are in the fallout zone.
Okay.
You're just in the fallout zone. This is about me right now.
Okay.
Sorry, one sec. I had to buzz my mom into the building. The potion of consequence. What the heck is this?
Consequences will
It's
never...
Kalia. Thank you for the raid. Hello, everybody. Hello, raiders.
There we go. Okay. Potion.
You hear that, right, Lance? That slight in the
I
background.
I can hear it too. And every time it happens, I'm like, oh, R.I.P. Ollie.
I'm trying really hard not to hear it because I don't want to start tripping too. I could have sworn that I've already heard my roommate calling my name 2 to 3 times now. And I'm like...
It sounds sort of like someone saying Haley or Ollie in the background.
Yes!
Every time I hear it, I'm just like...
There you go. Okay.
No, I don't know if you saw me, but I like took my headphone off and like...
Okay, so the potion of consequence, white and black liquid fills this vial, alternating between the colors but never mixing. When you drink the potion, you gain the following benefits for 1 minute. Advantage on strength, dex, constitution checks, and saving throws. So all 3 of those, you get checks and con saves, checks and saving throws for a minute. Your speed increases by 15 feet, and you gain a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls with weapons. At the end of a minute, you suffer the following detrimental effects for 1 hour. You have a disadvantage on strength, dexterity, and constitution, checks and saving throws. Your speed is halved, and attack rolls made against you are made at advantage. So essentially, if you think that you're going to be in combat for a minute, or you want to be really good at something for a minute, the potion will get you really good at it. But at the end of that, you're like bottomed out for an hour. You're essentially pop a tab of ecstasy.
It's essentially haste, right?
It's essentially haste, but with
steps.
more bonuses and I think a longer downside, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think haste is an hour.
Cool.
It could be.
It's also...
Yeah, I think it's also a minute, but in either case.
Cool,
yeah,
this is a neat potion. I like this, Jordy.
Yeah, this was one that, again, little bits and pieces from the web here and there, but the potion itself was one that I had created.
It's not in the budget right now, sorry. Can't do it.
I understand, don't worry. It is a little on the expensive side to find yourself in a wonderful shop such as this and having to get quite as many new items that you see. But for the time being, I thank you for your patronage, and if you ever want to come back, make sure that you bring your friends back to see Pumat's soul, Enchanter Pumat's soul, at the Invulnerable Vagrant.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. Alrighty, so with that, you guys having wrapped up at the Invulnerable Vagrant, you've got your potions, you've got some ideas of some maybe interesting things that you could potentially buy. Lesson jewels, you guys start to come back and kind of congregate in that main center of town. Not really sure exactly how long they were going to be gone for, but you guys mill around a little bit and Les munches on a little bit more raw fish there until eventually the rest of the group comes back. And what we'll do here is we're going to go ahead and call it for the night as you guys try to figure out what it is you want to do for the rest of the evening in Zadash. Do you want to...
Let's get blitzed.
Get blitzed in a tavern? Do you want to get blitzed and go to the victory pits and do some fighting?
Pits.
Oh,
There's a bunch of options there. So we are going to say goodnight here to everybody on stream. Thank you so much, everybody, for sticking around with us. We appreciate you guys staying here. We'll go ahead and kill our music for now. And
thank you all for the raids, by the way.
yeah,
Much
thank you for the
appreciated.
raids. There were so many raids tonight. That was massive. I need to give some shout outs here. So first off, Escalia for raiding with 11. Thank you for coming in. Shatter Tabletop, obviously you came in earlier. Thank you for that one. We appreciate you so much. And then who's the other one? Saint Avanti, subscribing with Prime. Appreciate the sub there. And then we had another big raid that came in earlier. I'm trying to see it. Who was it?
Cantrip
Cast. Yes. Was that catnips and cantrips?
Yes, we did see catnip and
Yeah,
cantrips in there as well.
They came in.
Cat was in chat,
Yeah.
but that was not the raid.
That was not okay. Just similar
The
channel
cantrip
names.
cast with a rate of 26.
There's Catnip and Cantrip, who's a viewer, a good friend of mine, and then there's Cantrip Cat.
Well, we
the show.
appreciate both of you equally, because we love having everybody here. So thank you so much, everybody, for sticking around. We appreciate you guys. So you're aware, we are going to be doing probably one more episode before the holidays. This is a bi-weekly episode, so we're going to be back on December 14th, which is going to be our big wrap-up before the holidays, when everybody goes off for Christmas and things. We've also got another show coming up on Monday, which is our weekly campaign called Beyond the Realms. And then on next Tuesday, that'll be December 7th, we've got a big one there, the 4th episode, the first one in which the group of Wild Beyond the Witchlight is going into Prismere, the entrance into the Feywild within that campaign. Amazing creators on that one. If you follow Quincy's Tavern or Jennings Brower or Jackie Elena Chan or Shane Wally, those are all individuals that are members of that campaign. So we look forward to seeing you guys back. Thank you so much for sticking around. But for the time being, be safe, stay happy, stay healthy, wash your hands, and we will see you guys very soon.
Stay chaotic.